Chapter 1472. Chapter 1472. Destruction. Sacred flame liquid. After Qin Yun arrived at the foot of the mountain, Shimen Dazhuang immediately shouted in joy. He was very worried that Qin Yun would die. "Did you find the ancient corpse?" Shimen Taidan asked. "I found it, that guy can talk." Qin Yun's expression is strange, and then he explained the situation he encountered. The sky is dark. Shimen Dazhuang and Pippi Pig are very scared and quickly hid behind Shimen Taidan. Shimen Taidan sighed and said, "What a pity, if only I could go up the mountain, I would be able to study that guy." "Taidan, what the hell is that thing? It actually wants to become a mountain god?" Qin Yun doubtfully asked. "It should be a guy who cultivates a secret technique. He has been hibernating in the depths of a mortal desolate for a long time, waiting for an opportunity to fuse with a powerful divine object and then control it. This is only my speculation. In short, that guy is about to fuse with the heavenly wind divine mountain. At that time, he will definitely be able to control the heavenly wind divine mountain." Luckily we went down the mountain early." Shimen Dazhuang let out a long sigh. "I won't go up again, it's too scary." Qin Yun suddenly thought of an idea and said, "Maybe I can talk to that guy and cooperate with him. I can give it a try. As long as he fuses with the divine mountain, he will be able to understand this divine mountain like the back of his hand. At that time, it will be much easier to evolve the divine mountain." Shimen Taidan's eyes lit up and said with smile, "This might not be a bad thing." Qin Yun looked at Shimen Dazhuang and Pippi Pig and asked, "Do you want to go up with me to see that guy?" Not going. Even if you beat me to death, I won't go." Shimen Dazhuang and Pippi Pig immediately shook their heads. Qin Yun laughed, then went up the mountain again and entered the cave. After entering, the head shouted, "Quickly remove the talisman. If this goes on, you will destroy such a good opportunity. If you go smoothly, will you be able to control this mountain?" Qin Yun asked. "Indeed. At that time, I will be the soul of this mountain and my body will be reborn through this mountain." The head said, "Letting my body fuse with the divine mountain is a kind of sacrifice. How about this? I will let you smoothly fuse with the divine mountain, but I will stay on this divine mountain in the future and you will have to listen to me." Qin Yun said. "No." The head said. "All right then, goodbye." Qin Yun spoke and was about to leave. "Wait, I agree to let you stay on this mountain, but I can't completely listen to you. If there is something important, we must discuss it." The head suddenly stopped Qin Yun and said, "All right." Qin Yun could accept it. He took out a contract talisman and signed a contract with the head to avoid being cheated by it in the future. That head had a soul, so it could also sign a soul contract. After signing it, Qin Yun took away the talisman and asked, "Then how should I address you in the future?" "Just call me the super invincible mountain god." The head smiled proudly, and the corners of its mouth curled up slightly. "You weak human, tremble." If Qin Yun did not see that it was a dead face, he would have kicked it. "Mountain god, why do you have such heavy corpse energy on your body?" Qin Yun asked. "That's because my corpse is very powerful. I originally planned to cultivate a corpse king, but I didn't expect that such a huge sun divine stone would suddenly fall and turn into a huge divine mountain. So I immediately changed cultivation to mountain god." Mountain god said, "Don't find it strange, this is also a kind of cultivation path." Qin Yun also knows that the world is big and there are many kinds of cultivation method. But seeing such a strange method, he repeatedly exclaimed in admiration, "Many people died on this mountain, right? They were all killed by you." Mountain god said, "Did you notice? After you killed those people, did something strange happen?" "What strange?" Qin Yun thought for a moment and asked. "You wanted to collect those guys' remnant souls, but you didn't succeed." Mountain god proudly laughed and said, "That's because I devoured all those guys' remnant souls." Qin Yun was puzzled before why he could not collect the souls of those heavenly tiger star people after killing them. So it was because this guy devoured them. This caused Qin Yun to be so angry that he wanted to stomp on that dead person's face a few times. Mountain God said again, I am invincible because I started cultivating God in immortal desolate. I have already transformed this mountain into an altar. All the people who died on this mountain will become sacrifices. You bastard! You stole so many of my souls. Qin Yun groaned. Why do you want so many souls? Do you want to sacrifice them to God? I am Mountain God, you just need to sacrifice me. Then again, when I go to Divine Desolate, I will surely become a very powerful God. I also know a lot about Divine Desolate. I used to be a divine servant. Although I was squeezed dry by gods and could not enter Sacred Desolate, I defied the heaven and changed my fate. I spent 2 epochs in this 9 Desolate. The god who enslaved me must have died long ago, but I am still alive. Ha ha ha! Mountain God very arrogantly laughed heartily. Qin Yun said in amazement, So you are a divine servant? Mountain God said with sneer, What? Are you looking down on me? Aren't you a divine servant now? Qin Yun said with smile, Of course I am not a divine servant. My relationship with God is very special, it is a cooperative relationship. How is this possible? How can a high and mighty God look up to a little immortal like you? Even sacred desolate experts are nothing but ants in the eyes of God. Mountain God said, Forget it if you don't believe me. I won't disturb you anymore. Qin Yun said, Humph. Next time you perform death sacrifice, I must see which god's divine servant you are. You actually dare to boast so shamelessly. Mountain God said. Qin Yun walked out of the cave and returned the compass to Shimen Taidan. Shimen Taidan also hastily left to call people to set up a great formation. Sir, I reckon there will be people attacking the mountain in the next few days. Lu Jian said, Do you want me to gather some information? All right. Oh, that's right, give me your devil mirror. Qin Yun said. Lu Jian handed over the devil mirror to Qin Yun and said with sigh, The devil mirror can no longer be used. Qin Yun took it, took out the floating cloud divine needle, and began modifying the runes inside. Then he also took out his devil mirror and modified it a few times. Not long after, the 2 devil mirrors showed some reaction. We can still communicate with each other at close range. It is like sound transmission talisman. Here, you should be able to contact me when you are near the divine mountain. Qin Yun said with smile. Truly awesome. Lu Jian exclaimed in admiration, then took the devil mirror and hastily left. Qin Yun looked at Shimen Dezhuang and said with smile, Dezhuang Pippi, didn't you say you would kill your way into the Scarlet Slaughter Holy City with me? Why are you scared of a ghost now? Aren't you too cowardly? We are not scared. Pippi Pig shouted, We are just thinking about safety. Then are you still going up the mountain? Qin Yun finished speaking and started walking up the mountain path. Shimen Dazhuang and Pippi Pig are both scared of that head, so they promptly shook their heads. I will wait for Dad and the others. Uncle, you should go up by yourself, be careful. Shimen Dazhuang said. Qin Yun shook his head and smiled, then walked up to the summit of Heavenly Wind Divine Mountain. It is night time now. Qin Yun is looking at the stars in the sky. He took out the floating cloud pagoda and entered the 20th floor. After entering the 20th floor, he looked at the small 17th floor altar and yelled, Big Sister Star God, Big Sister Sweet Star, I am here. Star God said with charming smile, Xiao Yun, did you miss me? A charming and moving red-clothed woman suddenly appeared on the white altar. Even though she is only a shadow formed from a wisp of remnant soul, her natural charm is enough to captivate souls and bewitch souls. Star God and Yushutian look exactly the same. However, every time Qin Yun sees Star God's face, he cannot recognize them as the same face. Of course I miss you, moreover I am very worried about you. Qin Yun said with smile. I am fine for now. Star God giggled and said, Oh, that's right, where is your wife? She is in the Guanghan Palace. Qin Yun said, Big Sister Star God, have you contacted Xiao Tian recently? Not at all. She will only contact me when she is making a sacrifice. Her altar is not very strong, so it will take a lot of energy to contact me. The Star God said, Big Sister Star God, I have completed the Divine Arrow's mission. The Divine Arrow's spirit told me that my past life was the Sun God. Moreover, I was the weakest and shortest-lived one. Qin Yun looked at the small statue and said with sigh. He also said that this statue is the Sun God's divine position. Ah, is this true? Star God said in amazement. When I inherited the Star God's divine position, how come I never heard of this? I don't know. Qin Yun shook his head. Don't worry about this, it's fine as long as you are alive now. Star God said with smile. Oh, that's right, after some time, Big Sister will give you some good things. Qin Yun took out a pearl and said, I have collected many evil departed souls, I will perform death sacrifice for you, is that all right? All right. Star God said with smile. Come. Qin Yun placed the pearl on the altar. The altar began to operate and very quickly absorbed the departed souls inside the pearl. So fast. Qin Yun said in shock. Is it useful or not? Of course it's useful. Although I am a star god, when I inherited the divine position, I received too little inheritance from the previous star god, so I am relatively weak. You must know that Star God is the Star God, the one who can absorb a lot of Star God's power should be the strongest. Star God faintly sighed. But I am unable to do it, so I still need to sacrifice. Big Sister Star God, I am going to tear down an altar. Qin Yun suddenly said. All right, but you have to be careful, the guy who controls the altar will definitely be on guard against you. After Star God heard this, she very happily smiled and said, I will give you something now to help you. What is it? Qin Yun asked. Just as he finished asking, a spatial fluctuation appeared on the altar, and then some black liquid began to drip down. Quickly catch. Star God said. Qin Yun promptly took out a large vat and caught it. In an instant the vat was half full. What is this? Qin Yun asked curiously. Chapter 1473. Heavenly Tiger arrives. Star God's image very quickly disappeared. Every time she contacted Qin Yun to deliver things, her whereabouts would be exposed and she would have to continue fleeing. Qin Yun saw Star God hastily escaping and felt very apologetic in his heart. He sighed and said, She runs for her life all day long, how can this end? I will contact her less in the future, and let her live a bit more peacefully. He is very worried that Star God will be killed. Although Star God can be reborn through Yushutian, he doesn't want her personality to change. He wants Yushutian to remain lively, gentle, innocent, and pure. If Star God can be reborn through Yushutian, it would be equivalent to losing a friend. This is a very strange feeling. Xiao Yun, what should we use this sacred destruction flame liquid to refine? Ling Yuner asked. Use it to refine cannonballs? I don't know how powerful it is, it sounds very strong. Qin Yun still doesn't know how to use it. Qin Yun also took out a drop and began studying it. After studying for an hour, Qin Yun discovered that a drop of sacred destruction flame liquid can absorb a lot of earth immortal power and then condense the sacred destruction flame liquid into a crystal. After crystallization, the sacred destruction flame liquid is very firm, it is comparable to Saint tier materials. Detonation is also very simple, as long as he injects his blood spirit power, within a certain distance, he can control the crystal and make it explode. This is truly a mysterious thing. I must properly use it to destroy Scarlet Slaughter Holy City and tear down that altar. Qin Yun previously planned to tear down another sun altar, then build a star god altar and place it in the Guanghan Palace. In this way, The star gods would have an additional sun altar, and their strength would become even stronger. Maybe later he won't need to flee anymore. Powerful star god can also provide Qin Yun with even more good things. Qin Yun also immediately started working. He took out the heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron and began refining. He wants to refine even more formidable cannon arrows. Now that I have arrow totem, the cannon arrows refined should have even stronger penetrating power. The arrowhead will be made from sacred flame liquid of annihilation. It will explode, Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. He has many damaged sacred tools in his hands. After melting them, he will mix in a large amount of best quality immortal materials. In order to quickly forge better materials, Qin Yun has no choice but to use the core fragment to awaken the 9-sun divine hammer. He first forged the body of the arrow, and then added the arrowhead. Xiao Yun, you now have to carve a large number of arrow totems. These are weapon totems. If you want your arrows to be stronger, it's best to fuse with the inscription spirit, Ling Yuner said. Qin Yun also has a Tool King inscription spirit. It was given to him by sect master Bao Changsho back then. It is also an inheritance from Immortal Weapon City. He had never fused with it because he did not often use the weapon totem. Therefore, he kept it and planned to pass it down to the others in the inscription gate in the future. And now, in order to make the cannon even stronger, he can only fuse with the Tool King inscription spirit. He took out a soul sealing pearl and placed the Tool King inscription spirit inside it into the nether sun. Because he had the 9-sun divine hammer, he forged 100 arrows in one night. After daybreak, he rested for 2 hours and immediately started work again. He needed to inject a large amount of earth immortal energy into the vat of sacred flame liquid of annihilation. After absorbing a large amount of immortal power, the sacred flame liquid of annihilation will gradually condense together. Directly inject blood spirit power, it should be better, Ling Yuner said, but it will consume a lot more energy. Just inject immortal power, then inject blood spirit power later. Qin Yun placed his hand on the vat of sacred flame liquid of annihilation and released the earth immortal power inside the nether sun. After half a day, there is no movement at all in the sacred flame liquid of annihilation. Qin Yun realized that he still underestimated this vat of sacred flame liquid of annihilation. He feels that he is about to be hollowed out and the sacred flame liquid of annihilation has no sign of crystallization. I need to find someone stronger to help me. Qin Yun plans to ask Shimen Taidan for help. He is lying on a chair, using the 9-sun divine spirit to absorb the energy of the divine mountain and restore the energy he just consumed. Because he is inside the divine mountain and he has the 9-sun divine spirit, his recovery speed is very fast. In just half an hour, he has recovered to his peak. At this time, Lu Jiayan suddenly took out the magic mirror and contacted Qin Yun. After Qin Yun's simple modification, the magic mirror can send messages to each other within a certain distance. Uncle, there is a very strong black-robed man wandering around the mountain, Lu Jiayan said. Black-robed man? Is it Devil Mirror Immortal Emperor? Qin Yun asked. No. Now no one dares to approach the heavenly wind divine mountain. On one hand, they are afraid of being killed by the heavenly tiger stars people. On the other hand, they are afraid of being killed by you. I suspect that the black-robed man is an expert from the heavenly tiger star who came here to scout the situation, Lu Jiayan said. Then you must be a bit careful. Oh, that's right, what does that black-robed man look like? Qin Yun asked. He is wearing a mask, I can't see his appearance. But it seems like he is very anxious. He is unceasingly attacking the heavenly wind divine mountain, Lu Jiayan said. He is now watching from a distance, he doesn't dare to approach. Qin Yun also sensed a slight tremor from the mountain peak. Heavenly Wind Divine Mountain is an Earth Divine Mountain. When experts with high cultivation attack the Divine Mountain, their energy will be absorbed. I will go down and take a look. Qin Yun stored away the floating cloud pagoda. As long as he doesn't leave the heavenly wind divine mountain, he won't be captured by the experts outside. Qin Yun rushed down the mountain. When he arrived at the waist of the mountain, he sensed a very familiar aura. It's Sister Yao Fang. Qin Yun is extremely happy in his heart. That black-robed man is actually Yao Fang. He promptly used floating immortal rune power to soar into the sky and quickly flew down the mountain. After he left the mountain, he saw that black-robed man. Lu Jian saw Qin Yun leave the divine mountain from a distance and felt very worried in his heart. Because he can see that the black-robed man is very strong, he has surpassed Earth immortal realm. I am here. Yao Fang's voice is low and hoarse. Qin Yun promptly took out the floating cloud pagoda and invited Yao Fang to enter. Sister Yao Fang, it is really good to see you again. I have been very worried about you these past few days. Qin Yun said with smile. Yao Fang responded. Her voice is somewhat ice-cold, but there is also a kind of faint gentleness. Oh, that's right, Sister Yao Fang. I suffered heavenly punishment before and many people forgot about me. Qin Yun told Yao Fang about his bitter experience, and then asked, Have you ever had this kind of experience? No, I have always remembered you. Yao Fang indifferently said. Really? Qin Yun said with smile. Sister Yao Fang, your soul is truly formidable. Rumor has it that you are going to tear down the altar again? Yao Fang asked. That is indeed my plan. Qin Yun nodded his head. How can I help? Yao Fang did not seem to stop Qin Yun from doing this kind of dangerous thing. On the contrary, she is very supportive of him. Qin Yun promptly took out the vat of extermination sacred flame liquid and said, Sister Yao Fang, pour in your immortal power. All right. Yao Fang did not ask any questions and immediately did as told. Back when she was inside the Nine Sun Divine Soul, she often helped Qin Yun fiddle with some things. Yao Fang is wearing a black robe and a wooden mask, only her bright and beautiful moving eyes can be seen. Qin Yun suddenly discovered that Yao Fang's eyes have become a lot more beautiful. Sister Yao Fang, are you still troubled by the curse? Did Devil Immortal Great Emperor go find you? Qin Yun very anxiously asked. Yao Fang stared at Qin Yun, her beautiful eyes are unblinking, as if she is thinking about something. After a while, she faintly said, I have already broken free from the curse. What? Qin Yun yelled in pleasant surprise. This is great. Can you take off your mask and let me see you? I can't. Yao Fang coldly refused. Qin Yun somewhat dejectedly said, Sister Yao Fang, do you still hate me? I hate you. Yao Fang lightly groaned. But you need my help, I will definitely help you. Why don't you go back to Guanghan Palace? Yuelon and Yueme are both in Guanghan Palace. Qin Yun asked. It's fine as long as they are doing well. I am worried that if I go to Guanghan Palace, I will implicate them. Yao Fang lightly sighed. How is your cultivation of Nine Sun World Extermination scripture? Although Qin Yun cannot see Yao Fang's face, he is still very happy in his heart. Very smooth. But I can't teach it to you now. Wait until you become immortal emperor, Yao Fang said in low voice. It's not that I don't want to teach it to you, it's just that by doing this you will face a lot less risk. Cultivating Nine Sun World Extermination scripture has a lot of risk? What kind of risk? Qin Yun asked. Yao Fang did not reply. She doesn't want to talk about it, so Qin Yun doesn't want to continue asking. Sister Yao Fang, can you answer my question? What is the relationship between you and Yuelon and Yueme? I told her about you before, she seems to know who you are. Qin Yun asked in low voice. I am their master. I raised them up in their past life, Yao Fang said. Qin Yun remembers that his past life's immortal king Fu Yun once swindled Xiao Yuelon and Xiao Yueme's master and made her disappear mysteriously. I heard that my past life let you down very much. Qin Yun said with some guilt. I brought this upon myself. I once said that as long as I can obtain 9 Sun World Extermination Scripture, I will do anything. Yao Fang's voice is somewhat gentle. You don't need to blame yourself. Qin Yun laughed and said, That's good. Suddenly Lu Jian's loud shout can be heard from outside. Ah! Uncle, quickly run. Sister Yao Fang, someone is here to cause trouble for me. Qin Yun said and promptly walked out of the floating cloud pagoda. He saw Lu Jian's body has been pierced by a spear and lifted up by a large man. Yao Fang also followed him out. They saw a large group of people riding fierce tigers in front of them. They are wearing armor and there is a tiger head carved on the chest area. Seeing this formation, it is clear that these are Heavenly Tiger Stars people. There are more than 1,000 of them. Their overall strength is very formidable. Qin Yun can already sense the aura of immortal kings. He guessed that there are at least 5 immortal kings here. This is Earth Province. People above Golden Immortal, don't be arrogant here. This is breaking the rules of Immortal Desolate. Qin Yun shouted. Chapter 1474. Mountain God. Mountain God. Lu Jian's body was pierced by a spear. He is suspended in the air. His pierced chest is constantly bleeding. His face is filled with pain as he shouted, Uncle, quickly run! There are many immortal kings here. There are also many golden immortals, heaven immortals and immortal monarchs. Quickly enter that stone building. Yao Fang patted Qin Yun's shoulder and said coldly, You go save him, leave the rest to me. Qin Yun turned his head to look at Yao Fang. Her beautiful eyes are flickering with dense killing intent. He suddenly felt that this killing intent is very similar to Xiao Yuelan's. Xiao Yuelan's killing intent is like this. He suspects that Xiao Yuelan and Yao Fang must have learned a mysterious cultivation technique. I will go now. Qin Yun waved his hand and stored the floating cloud pagoda, then turned it back into a long rod. Heavenly Tiger Stars people have arrived at Heavenly Wind Divine Mountain in such a large formation. The people who have been wandering in the vicinity all know about it and are watching from afar. They all know how dreadful Qin Yun is. He is invincible among Earth Immortals. But facing Golden Immortals, Heaven Immortals and Immortal Monarchs above Earth Immortal, he is definitely not their match. Heavenly Tiger Stars people don't follow the rules of Immortal Desolate. They came to 9 suns and 9 desolates, Immortal Desolate from the starry sky, to plunder the resources here. They are like bandit. One of Qin Yun's eyes flashed with white light. His body also turned into a white light and flashed over. He arrived in front of Lu Jian and quickly broke the spear with a rod. Then he grabbed Lu Jian and threw him backward. After Lu Jian was thrown into Heavenly Wind Divine Mountain by Qin Yun, a large white pig suddenly rushed out and caught him. The large white pig carried Lu Jian on its back and ran on the mountain path. In the blink of an eye, it disappeared. After Qin Yun's floating cloud rod broke the spear, the immortal power condensed inside burst out, causing the large man who stabbed Lu Jian to vomit blood. Most dreadful thing is that when the rod landed on the fierce tiger under the large man's body, it directly broke the tiger's head. Boom! The staff in Qin Yun's hand swept to the side, breaking the burly man's body into pieces. The spectators in the distance are all astonished. Qin Yun suddenly flew over to save Lu Jian and at the same time killed a Heavenly Tiger Planet person. All of this happened in an instant. The 1,000+ people from Heavenly Tiger Planet did not expect that Qin Yun, an Earth Immortal, would be so daring in front of a few immortal kings. They thought that with their powerful formation, they would be able to intimidate Qin Yun, make him kneel down and beg for mercy, and then submit to them. You're dead. The old Celestial King in the lead let out a roar as his Celestial King energy burst forth from his body. With just a slight lift of his hand, the Celestial King energy that shot out caused the ground to shake. Suddenly a black shadow flashed over, wearing a black robe, wearing a mask. Yao Fang is standing in front of Qin Yun. She only let out a muffled groan, and a murderous aura erupted from her body under the black robe. The immortal power that the old immortal king from the heavenly tiger planet shot out was also instantly dispersed by the killing intent. After the old immortal king recovered from his shock, he said with a sneer, "Qin Yun, you indeed have a powerful immortal king backing you. No wonder you dare to be so arrogant." In the blink of an eye, Yao Feng suddenly appeared in front of the old immortal king and punched. Her fist is filled with black energy. That black energy is filled with incomparably terrifying destructive power. Boom! The fist landed on the old immortal king's head and produced an explosive sound. That terrifying destructive power transformed into a black energy wave that tore apart the surrounding people. The immortal king was killed in the blink of an eye. It means that the person who attacked is an immortal emperor. The spectators in the distance cried out in alarm and flew into the sky one after another, distancing themselves from the battlefield. The power of an immortal emperor is very terrifying. It is very normal for them to flatten a large mountain range with a raise of their hand. Qin Yun promptly took out a very large soul-sealing pearl and let Ling Yun'er lock onto those remnant souls and suck them over. A middle-aged immortal king from heavenly tiger planet shouted in horror, Who are you?" "We are from heavenly tiger planet, and we have good relations with the immortal families of the immortal desolate and the devil immortal heavenly gate, you." Before he finished speaking, Yao Feng flashed over and killed him with a palm strike. "No matter who you are, as long as you break the rules in the immortal desolate, anyone can punish you," Yao Feng said in cold voice, then leaped into the sky and sent a palm strike down. The huge black palm image, as if blotting out the sky and covering the sun, pressed down, bringing with it a dreadful killing intent as well as the power to destroy the world. Qin Yun has already retreated far away, but he can still sense the dreadfulness of that aura. What shocked him the most is that Yao Feng can actually release the immortal power of 9 suns. 9 suns world extermination, the power of 9 suns converging together to form the power to destroy the world. This is indeed very dreadful. Qin Yun is certain that Yao Feng has already mastered the initial stage of the 9 sun world extermination scripture. The black palm image pressed down on the ground. The ground looked like it was about to jump up. The huge heavenly wind divine mountain also shook violently, causing many rocks to roll down. The people floating in the sky saw the heavenly tiger planet people being enveloped by the black palm image and knew that those people are finished. Even though they knew, they still felt incomparable fear when they saw those people being turned into black ashes by the huge palm image. This is the power of an immortal emperor. Those immortal kings are just like ants in front of this kind of immortal emperor. Many people only heard about how dreadful immortal emperors are. Now that they have seen it with their own eyes, they are even more afraid of immortal emperors. At the same time, they yearn for that kind of dreadful power even more. Qin Yun and Ling Yun'er cooperated and collected all the remnant souls of the heavenly tiger planet people into the soul-sealing pearl. They can be saved for the next death sacrifice to the star god. Strangely, after the heavenly tiger planet people were turned into black ashes, the black ashes actually flew towards the heavenly wind divine mountain. Qin Yun knows that the heavenly wind divine mountain's dumbass mountain god is absorbing them. He secretly rejoiced that he acted quickly, otherwise the dumbass mountain god would have snatched away those remnant souls. Lu Jian, Shimen Dazhuang and Pippi Pig, who are in a cave on the mountain, saw those people being killed and shouted awesome with all their might. Uncle is indeed uncle. His friend is really awesome. He is much stronger than my father. Shimen Dazhuang exclaimed in admiration. Much stronger than sect master. Lu Jian is currently healing. Suddenly, a large amount of black ashes flew towards the cave they are in. What's going on? Shimen Dazhuang and other 2 wanted to run, but they were sucked into the depths of the cave by a suction force. Red light flickered in the depths of the cave, and on the ground, there is a head with a deathly pale complexion, messy hair and bloodshot eyes. Ah! Shimen Dezhuang saw the head and his eyes rolled up. He fainted on the spot. Pippi Pig is also scared and hit his head on the wall, lying on the ground. His body continuously trembled. Although Lu Jian is scared, he immediately realized that the head is that of the mountain god and calmed down. So many people from the heavenly tiger planet attacked the heavenly wind divine mountain, but before a single person could reach the mountain, they were all killed. The spectators in the distance dispersed one after another. They don't dare to have any idea about attacking the heavenly wind divine mountain, lest they get killed by that mysterious and formidable immortal emperor. Qin Yun took out the floating cloud pagoda again and entered with Yao Fang. Yao Fang continued pouring her immortal power into the vat of sacred destruction flame liquid. What is this thing? I seem to be able to sense a special destruction power, Yao Fang said. Sacred destruction flame liquid, Qin Yun said with smile. This is something from divine desolate. Did evil god give it to you? Yao Fang knows that Qin Yun is cooperating with evil god. No, I don't want to mingle with evil god anymore. Qin Yun told Yao Fang about his cooperation with Star God. Then he talked about going to the Heart Yang realm. Yao Fang is very happy to know that Xiao Yuelan obtained a sun-suppressing divine arrow. Sister Yao Fang, I heard that the Guang Han Palace is facing danger. Is there really no problem? Qin Yun said in low voice. I still hope that you go to the Guang Han Palace. It will make that place even safer. I won't go, because cultivating the 9-sun world extermination scripture, I can fall into a predicament at any time. If I go to the Guang Han Palace, I will only implicate them, Yao Fang said. As far as I know, Yu Yu and Bing Xing are both very strong immortal emperors. Moreover, they control the Moon God Mountain. In a short period of time, many people will become even stronger. Qin Yun nodded and said, because the devil mirror can't be used, I also can't understand their current situation. Since they control the Moon God Mountain, they can definitely become stronger very quickly. The person who created the devil mirror is Wu Xiaoding. This guy is your disciple, Yao Fang said. He told me that the Central Formation Foundation you set up in your past life was destroyed. That's why the devil mirror lost its effectiveness. Indeed. Qin Yun sighed and said, it's all because of those two bastards, Devil Immortal Great Emperor and Immortal Desolate Great Emperor. The two of them are looking for the heaven-leaping shuttle, Yao Fang said with sneer. Those two bastards, after so many years, they still haven't given up. Sister Yao Fang, you know about the heaven-leaping shuttle? Qin Yun is somewhat surprised and promptly asked. Of course I know. The heaven-leaping shuttle originally belonged to the immortal desolate great emperor, but because of some reason, he exchanged it with your past life and planned to snatch it back later. Yao Fang said. He didn't expect you to be so capable, so he never managed to snatch it back. Qin Yun said in pleasant surprise. Sister Yao Fang, do you know where the heaven-leaping shuttle is? I am not too sure, but it is definitely in Heavenly Province. I know that you have more than 100 hidden treasures in Heavenly Province. I will look for them one by one. Moreover, the most important Central Formation Foundation of the Devil Mirror is on the heaven-leaping shuttle. I will help you find it. Yao Fang said again. Very good. Thank you, Sister Yao Fang. Qin Yun said with smile. How do you know so much about my past life? Yao Fang groaned and did not reply. Qin Yun is very curious as to how Yao Fang knows so much about the heaven-leaping shuttle. He suspects that when his past life obtained the heaven-leaping shuttle, Yao Fang must have participated in it. Sister Yao Fang, if you have time, help me with something. Qin Yun took out the severely damaged Nether Spirit Sacred Blade and handed it over to Yao Fang. Help me give it to foster father. His Nether sect is also in Immortal Desolate. Alright. Yao Fang nodded. Yao Fang's immortal power is very formidable, Moreover, it has destruction power. It can make the destruction sacred flame liquid even stronger. Not long after, the destruction sacred flame liquid turned into crystal. After Yao Feng finished helping Qin Yun, she hastily left. Before leaving, she warned Qin Yun repeatedly. Qin Yun very happily returned to Heavenly Wind Divine Mountain. After arriving at the summit, he saw Shimen Dazhuang and Pippi Pig sitting next to a bonfire and shivering. Lu Jian's injuries have also healed a lot. Beside the bonfire, there is a man with very messy hair and pale complexion. He is precisely that stupid mountain god. Chapter 1475. Chapter 1475. Destruction Sacred Flame Arrow, Mountain God, don't act recklessly, can't you show some manners? Qin Yun curled his lips and said, Look at you, you scared them. Qin Yun is not the least bit afraid of this mountain god. The mountain god absorbed the ashes of those heavenly tiger star people, that's why he quickly fused with the heavenly wind divine mountain. They are trembling in front of my divine might, this is very normal. Look at you, pretending not to be afraid of me, this is just your hypocritical performance. The mountain god laughed loudly and said, It's mainly because you look so scary. Qin Yun shook his head and laughed, then sat down and said to Shimen Dazhuang, Dazhuang, don't be afraid of this guy, isn't your Pippi Pig invincible? A fart can send him flying, why are you afraid of this kind of thing? Really? Shimen Dazhuang is mainly afraid of ghosts, he is afraid of those ancient corpses. Send me flying with a fart? You are looking down on me too much. The mountain god said in a very bad mood. Come, show me a fart. Shimen Dazhuang and Pippi Pig are still trembling, they don't dare to look directly at the mountain god. Dazhuang, Pippi Pig, I know you are afraid of ghosts. Actually, there is nothing to be afraid of, you are so powerful, you should be able to defeat this guy. Only by defeating him will you not be afraid of him. Qin Yun said with smile. Quickly give him a fart. The injured Lu Jian quickly stood up with great difficulty and rolled down the mountain peak. He quickly found a cave to hide in. He knows very well the might of Pippi Pig's fart. The mountain god stood on a tall rock and shouted, I have finally been reborn, I have finally fused with the divine object from the 9 suns. I will be able to rule the 9 desolate, I will be invincible under the heavens. You weaklings, tremble under my divine might, tremble. Shimen Dazhuang clenched his teeth, promptly lifted Pippi Pig and pointed its butt at the mountain god standing on the large rock. The mountain god is now crazily talking and laughing unceasingly. Fire! Shimen Dazhuang shouted. A black light beam shot out and landed on the mountain god's face. After the crazed mountain god was hit, his voice came to an abrupt stop. He let out a blood-curdling scream and then repeatedly retched. It's working, Shimen Dazhuang said happily. Then, he immediately had Pippi Pig make a move. The mountain god was hit several times in a row. He dropped the rock and rolled down the mountain. Ha ha! Pippi Pig is invincible. Shimen Dazhuang laughed happily. We beat that ghost, haha, we're invincible. At this moment, Pippi Pig and Shimen Dazhuang were no longer afraid and laughed wretchedly. I told you, that guy is a fake. Qin Yun shook his head and smiled. Then he took out the floating cloud pagoda and entered it to continue refining his bow and arrows. Shimen Dazhuang and Pippi Pig did not enter, they planned to wait for the mountain god to come up, then they would properly ridicule the mountain god. After a while, the mountain god climbed up and pointed at Shimen Dazhuang. He wanted to say something, but he didn't dare because Pippi's butt was facing him. Mountain god, aren't you invincible? Shimen Dazhuang very proudly laughed and said, You can't defeat us, yet you are so arrogant, even pretending to be a ghost to scare people. That's because I just woke up, so my body is still very weak. Just wait and see, I will become very strong very soon. The mountain god groaned and then his body suddenly drilled into the ground. Shimen Dazhuang curled his lips. This guy only knows how to boast. We were scared because he was too ugly, we were not afraid of him at all. Pippi Pig nodded. At the top floor of the floating cloud pagoda, Qin Yun took out the crystallized extermination sacred flame liquid and carefully cut it open. Although it has crystallized, Qin Yun can still cut it open with the sun-suppressing divine arrow. He wants to cut it into many small pieces and then forge them into arrowhead. Although the extermination sacred flame liquid can explode, it is very stable. After Qin Yun poured in blood spirit power, as long as he willed it, he can control the explosion. Otherwise, even if he was beaten, it would not explode. Now, he is using the 9 Sun Divine Hammer to forge many small pieces of crystal into arrowheads. Forging arrowheads is very laborious because after the crystal is hammered, it becomes more and more difficult to deform. And it is even more difficult for Qin Yun to make the arrowheads sharp. Fortunately, he has the 9 Sun Divine Hammer, otherwise it would take even more time. After busying himself for more than a day, Qin Yun finally finished making the arrowhead. He fused the arrowheads with the arrowheads and then began carving arrow totems. In addition to carving arrow totems, he also carved dragon totems, which can make the arrows even stronger. Refining these arrows, just awakening the 9 Sun Divine Hammer consumed a lot of core fragment. Originally, he had more than 500, but now there are only 300 left. In the future, he will have to give them to Yang Yang to use, so he must get more. Outside, Shimen Dezhuang suddenly shouted in pleasant surprise, "Dad is here, Dad is here." He brought people to set up a formation. Qin Yun is currently carving totems. He does not have time to go out, so he let Shimen Dezhuang arrange it. In these 2 days, the news of Heavenly Tiger Stars group being exterminated has spread. Now everyone wants to know who that immortal emperor is. The people who were watching from the distant sky heard Yao Feng's voice. They only know that it is a woman. Some people suspect that it is Yu Yu, but Heavenly Tiger Stars people are very clear that Yu Yu is in the Guanghan Palace. A mysterious woman and a formidable immortal emperor, all the major powers sent people to investigate. They want to find out who that immortal emperor is. In the great era before world extermination, many formidable immortal emperors were born. However, only a small number of immortal emperors are known by everyone now. There are also many who are very low-key and are hiding. Moreover, rumor has it that the experts of the last era who were buried deep underground gradually came out. They are hiding among the crowd and are also very formidable existences. Qin Yun provoked many formidable powers, but because he can hide in the Divine Mountain, a place where cultivation is restricted, those experts of the great powers cannot do anything to him. Because there are places to hide, many people with fiery temper, when they are bullied by those rude and unreasonable great powers, they retaliate and kill the people of those great powers. Then they hide in all kinds of holy lands and divine mountains. And Nether Sect specially recruits these kind of people. Nether Sect was created by Netherworld Great Emperor. Netherworld Great Emperor has great enmity with the other 2 great emperors, so he is now fighting against them. Those 2 great emperors are very gloomy because in this great era, they should be accumulating resources and becoming stronger. But now they are being targeted by Netherworld Great Emperor. If they fight, both sides will suffer great losses. Heavenly Province, Heavenly Nether Mountain Range. Yao Feng is standing at the center of a large palace on top of a tall peak. This is the biggest palace of Nether Sect. Yao Feng has been entrusted by Qin Yun to return the damaged Nether Spirit Sacred Blade to Netherworld Great Emperor. Not long after, a gray-robed old man entered the palace. This old man is very spirited. He has straight gray hair. After he arrived, he said with smile, "Friend, why are you wearing a mask?" Qin Yun asked me to come. Yao Feng said. Xiao Fuyun? Netherworld Great Emperor promptly said with smile. This brat is truly awesome. He actually got to know a formidable immortal emperor like you. Do you want to join my Nether Sect? Yao Fong took out the Nether Spirit's sacred blade and said, "Here." She handed over the Nether Spirit's sacred blade and turned around to leave. After Netherworld Great Emperor took it, he cursed with smile on his face. "That bastard, he left Xiao Ming in this state, he must want me to help him recover." "Hey big sister, wait!" Netherworld Great Emperor suddenly yelled. When Yao Fong heard the word big sister, she abruptly turned her head. Her eyes are filled with killing intent as she said in cold voice, "What is it? Help me bring something to Xiaofuyun." Netherworld Great Emperor said with smile, "I have an urgent matter, I can't go find him." Yao Fong finished speaking and hastily left the palace and flew away from heavenly Nether Mountain range. Netherworld Great Emperor curled his lips and said, "How can a woman that Xiaofuyun knows be so ice-cold?" At this time, a one-armed white-clothed man walked in. His thin face has clear outline, he is handsome and callous, his eyes are filled with faint arrogance. "This is Xie Wufeng." "Foster father, you were looking for me?" Netherworld Great Emperor asked. Take a trip to Earth Province's Heavenly Wind Divine Mountain and give this to Xiaofun." Netherworld Great Emperor took out a storage pouch and handed it over to Xie Wufeng. "Foster father, I heard that old brother Yun is preparing to attack Scarlet Slaughter Holy City. Should we go and support him? I am now a Dao Immortal, I can't enter Scarlet Slaughter Holy City, otherwise I would have gone alone to help him." Xie Wufeng asked. "Little Floating Cloud is the type of person who comes and goes alone. If you go help him, it won't be a problem, but if it is someone else, they won't be able to keep up with him and will instead become his burden. You go and give this to him. Also, tell him to go to Earth Province's Nether City when he has time, I want him to refine something for me." Netherworld Great Emperor said with smile. "All right." Xie Wufeng nodded and then quickly left the palace. Qin Yun is carving totems on the bows and arrows inside the Floating Cloud Pagoda. He has 3 kinds of inscription spirits, Tool King, Totem and Beast King. The arrow totems and dragon totems he carves have reached the level of 12th level Xian Great Master. He feels that if his mental power can advance a step further, his finesse will be even higher. The easiest way to refine these bows and arrows is to carve totems. Qin Yun shook his head and smiled, then used the Floating Cloud Divine Needle to quickly carve. Ling Yun charmingly smiled and said, "If it was someone else, the most difficult thing would be carving totems." Qin Yun very quickly finished carving 100 bows and arrows. He named them Extermination Sacred Flame Arrows. He did not use the Gemini Treasure Mirror because he wants to practice more. After Qin Yun finished refining the bows and arrows, he walked out, stored away the Floating Cloud Pagoda and rushed down the mountain. While going down the mountain, he saw that there are many formation pillars at the lowest part of the Heavenly Wind Divine Mountain. They are the mountain protection great formation set up by Shiman family. Shiman Taigon is not directly participating because he can't enter the Heavenly Wind Divine Mountain. He is instructing some puppets to insert the formation pillars at the best position. Shiman Dazhuang is also helping. After he saw Qin Yun come down, he shouted, "Uncle, we will be done very soon. When the time comes, no one else will be able to go up the mountain." "Tai Dan, you have worked hard," Qin Yun said with smile. Chapter 1476 1476 Chapter 1476 Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City. At this moment, the mountain god with messy hair suddenly drilled his head out from the ground. Qin Yun walked down and kicked the mountain god's face, causing him to scream loudly. "Old mountain, why did you suddenly come out?" Qin Yun tripped and said with a smile, "You can't blame me for this." The mountain god crawled out wearing loose white clothes. He glanced at Shiman Dazhuang and said with a low snort, "You guys are truly crafty. In our era, there were no such crooked ways. Old mountain, can you make this mountain stronger?" Shiman Dazhuang asked. "Our Shiman family has researched the Divine Mountain very deeply. We can even make the divine mountain evolve. Of course I can. The mountain god stroked the messy hair on his forehead and said with a proud smile, I am an invincible mountain god. Making this mountain evolve is simply too easy. Of course, this will take some time. I still haven't adapted to the environment here. Qin Yun suddenly felt that this mountain god is useless. He only knows how to brag all day long. Hurry up and make the divine mountain evolve, make the divine tree bear fruit. Shimin Taidan said with a smile. You are a mountain god, you must know what kind of treasures are inside this mountain, right? Can you find more divine iron? Of course I can. It's just that I haven't completely fused with it yet. I will need a period of time to understand this mountain like the back of my hand. At that time, I will be even more invincible. The mountain god laughed and said, This mountain is my body and I am the soul of this mountain. Qin Yun arrived beside Shimin Taidan and asked, Taidan, a large number of people from the heavenly tiger planet were killed. Are there any movements from them now? Shimin Taidan shook his head and said, No, on the way here, I only know that a few immortal kings from the heavenly tiger planet were killed, but I don't know any other movements from them. Don't tell me they don't plan to come again? Qin Yun said with a frown, Logically speaking, that's impossible. So many of their people were killed. Maybe they know that the rules of the immortal desolate cannot be broken. Shimin Taidan said with a smile. Don't worry, if they send a very strong guy and make a move in Earth Province, I will also make a move. Shimin Dezhuang said, Dad, you don't know. That auntie from before was really powerful. She killed that group of guys in one move. You're definitely not as strong as that auntie. Dezhuang, the next time you see her, don't ever call her auntie, otherwise you will die a very ugly death. Qin Yun very seriously warned Shimin Dezhuang. Really? I understand. Shimin Dezhuang quickly nodded. At this moment, a black shadow suddenly appeared in front of them. Shimin Tiegan's expression changed, he said. Someone is approaching, his strength is very strong. This aura, could it be a sword immortal? We're on the same side. Qin Yun sensed Xie Wufeng's aura and shouted in pleasant surprise. Xie Wufeng had come. Shimin Dezhuang had seen how powerful Xie Wufeng was in Grand Desert Holy City, so he had a very deep impression of Xie Wufeng. After Xie Wufeng arrived, he saw an expert like Shimin Taigan and said with a smile, Brother Yun, it seems like my worries were unnecessary. Indeed. Qin Yun said with a smile, Boss Xie, your cultivation is increasing really fast. This is the great era, I am considered slow. Even though my cultivation is higher than yours, I am not necessarily your match. Xie Wufeng faintly smiled. How are your friends from Nether Sect? Qin Yun asked. Very good, they can't remember you for now but they will surely remember you in the future. Xie Wufeng took out a storage bag and handed it over to Qin Yun. Foster father told me to give this to you. Xie Wufeng is now Netherworld Great Emperor's foster son. Qin Yun took the storage bag and looked inside. He is very amazed because there are 2 books inside. They are the second and second volume of 9 Extinction Heart Sutra. 9 Extinction Sect Master is also in Nether Sect? Qin Yun asked. Indeed. Xie Wufeng nodded and said, He is now an immortal emperor. 9 Extinction Sect Master Wei Zhongjing, Azure Dragon, Xian Rujing and Yu Yu entered the Heart Yang realm together. Now that they have returned, they must have accomplished their mission. And Netherworld Great Emperor went on his own. Now that Xie Wufeng gave the things to Qin Yun, he has returned safely. Wei Zhongjing said that he was going to find the other 2 volumes of 9 Extinction Heart Sutra. Now he has finally found them and even gave them to Netherworld Great Emperor. It can be seen that their relationship is very good. Shimin Taigan suddenly yelled, Immortal Emperor! Qin Yun thought it was Yao Fang, but it is Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror. Brother Taigan, nice to meet you, nice to meet you. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror promptly took off his mask and said to Shimin Taigan with smile. Wu Heavenly Diagram? Nice to meet you. Shiman Taigon is somewhat amazed and asked, Brother Wu, you are Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror, what happened to your Devil Mirror? It is a long story, it was destroyed by those two great emperors, I will cry even more. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror shook his head and sighed. Qin Yun said, Xiao Ding, come here. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror promptly walked over and said, Sir, this is your letter. Qin Yun took the letter, looked at Xie Wufeng and said, This is my sworn brother Xie Wufeng. He is from Nether Sect. Let him take you to Nether Sect. I will find you if I have any problem in the future. Good. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror is very happy. He wanted to go to Nether Sect for a long time, but he was afraid that Netherworld Great Emperor would not want him. Now with Qin Yun's introduction, he will surely be taken care of after entering Nether Sect. Boss Xie, this Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror is my friend, you can take him to see foster father. Qin Yun said with smile. Oh that's right, foster father wants you to go to Earth Province's Nether City when you have time. Xie Wufeng can see that Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror is very respectful towards Qin Yun and is very amazed in his heart. Shiman Taigon and Shiman Dezhuang are also the same. Although Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror's Devil Mirror Gate has been destroyed, he is still an Immortal Emperor. Brother Yun, you must be very careful after entering Scarlet Slaughter Holy City. I believe that you will surely be able to take down that altar. Xie Wufeng patted Qin Yun's shoulder and said with smile, Goodbye. Qin Yun nodded with smile. Xie Wufeng brought Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror back to Nether Sect. Shiman Taigon exclaimed in admiration and said, Uncle, you are truly hidden. You have a very good relationship with Nether Sect, and even Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror is very respectful towards you. You are indeed worthy of being called uncle. Qin Yun shook his head and said with smile, It's nothing, I just have a lot of friends. Shiman Taigon said with smile, Me too. Oh that's right, I met old Third Luo before, this guy kept praising you and saying that your future is boundless. Old Third Luo is from Luo family's Inscription Mysterious Sect. He is also very famous. After Shiman Taigon finished setting up the formation, he said to Shiman Dezhuang, Dezhuang, after you enter Scarlet Slaughter Holy City with Uncle, you must remember not to implicate him. When you come back, I will take you to cultivate and make you stronger. Dezhuang, you go back with Taidan first. During this period of time, Scarlet Slaughter Holy City, Xian family and Heavenly Tiger Star have not taken any action, they must be waiting for me in Scarlet Slaughter Holy City. Qin Yun said, Entering Scarlet Slaughter Holy City this time will surely be very dangerous. Uncle, Dezhuang is not afraid, let him go and gain experience. Shiman Taigon said with smile. Taidan, this time is really different from before. If I was alone, it would not be a problem for me to escape. Qin Yun originally wanted to bring Shiman Dezhuang along. But thinking about how Scarlet Slaughter Holy City is strangely calm, he feels that they must have made sufficient preparations. Shiman Taigon saw how serious Qin Yun's expression is and nodded his head. Those guys in Scarlet Slaughter Holy City are indeed strangely calm, there is no news at all. Think about it carefully, Scarlet Slaughter Holy City must be very dangerous. Shiman Dezhuang very much wants to go but now he can only bring Pippi Pig and leave with Shiman Taigon. After Qin Yun returned to the mountain top, he took out the letter and said with frown, Heavenly Tiger Star is still attacking Guanghan Palace. They have been guarding outside the Guanghan Palace all along, these guys. This is the letter you gave him. She simply explained the situation of Guanghan Palace and also said that Xian Rujing is now Immortal Emperor. Qin Yun immediately felt very unbalanced in his heart. How can Xian Rujing become Immortal Emperor so quickly? Back then he and Xian Rujing obtained the sun-suppressing divine arrow together. He can imagine that if he sees Xian Rujing, he will be ruthlessly ridiculed by that ice mother tigress. Yuelon and others broke through as soon as they returned. This is also good, they won't have to risk entering Scarlet Slaughter Holy City with me. Qin Yun looked at the letter and laughed. But after reading the letter, he can no longer laugh, because the letter says that Xiao Yueme has entered Scarlet Slaughter Holy City. This wretched girl, Qin Yun cursed in low voice, running around everywhere. The letter did not say whether or not Xiao Yueme has recovered her memories. This caused Qin Yun to be very curious. This won't do, I must quickly enter Scarlet Slaughter Holy City. Qin Yun is suddenly very worried about Xiao Yueme. Xiao Yun, Yueme is very crafty, nothing will happen, don't worry. Ling Yuner said with smile. I know, but this little girl is very good at causing trouble. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, I want to go find her. Moreover, I have not seen her for a long time. This wretched girl, she actually forgot about me. Qin Yun promptly called Lu Jiyan and arranged for him and Mountain God to guard Heavenly Wind Divine Mountain. Then he left for Scarlet Slaughter Holy City overnight. Rujing, this ice mother tigress is an immortal emperor. Guang Han Palace should be very stable. Maybe those guys from Heavenly Tiger Star will run out of luck. Qin Yun is very clear about Xian Rujing's strength. She is after all Ice Goddess. A3. She suddenly became so strong, it won't be easy for you to deal with her. At least your strength must be equal. Ling Yuner lightly sighed and said, Last time in Purple Ice Mountain Range, at 20th floor of Floating Cloud Pagoda, you should have done what is done and obtained her dual spirit immortal vein. Hee your head. That is an ice mother tigress, if you mess with her, you will be bitten. Qin Yun curled his lips and said. Qin Yun used light transformation sacred pupil again and again to rush towards Scarlet Slaughter Holy City. Scarlet Slaughter Swamp is an earth immortal holy land, although it is filled with danger, with Qin Yun's current strength. As long as he doesn't run into those formidable heavenly rune beasts and sun rune beasts in human form, he has nothing to fear. Within 2 days, Qin Yun saw Scarlet Slaughter Holy City. Scarlet Slaughter Holy City has no city wall, but it is protected by a very formidable barrier. The barrier's energy comes from the Sun Altar in the middle. Sun Altar. I finally see Sun Altar again. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile, I really want to tear down a few more. Chapter 1477. United Guardian Altar. Qin Yun looked at the altar in the distance and thought to himself, it should be related. Yuner, what do you think about the altar in Floating Cloud City? One of the 9 Suns sects has been destroyed. I'm guessing that your previous life had something to do with the 9 Suns sect that was destroyed. That's why you kept the altar there. Ling Yuner said. Qin Yun obtained a teleportation formation from Floating Clouds City's Sun Altar. He can teleport back in the future. I'll enter the city first. Qin Yun previously asked Immortal Emperor Fiend Mirror for more than 100 million immortal jade beads. He felt that these immortal jade beads are enough. The holy city of Slaughter didn't have a gate, but there were 2 huge pillars at the entrance. There was a translucent golden curtain on the 2 pillars. If one were to barge in directly, they would be injured by the curtain. With enough immortal jade beads, entering the city was very simple. One only needed to purchase an entrance token from outside. It was just that the city entrance token was more expensive, nearly 50 million immortal jade beads. If you don't want to pay so many immortal jade beads and still want to enter the city, then you have to join the Scarlet Slaughter Holy City and become a member. Therefore, many people with a bit of strength but without immortal jade beads could only join the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City. Qin Yun used 50 million to purchase the city entrance token and successfully passed through the curtain at the entrance and entered the city. The holy city of Scarlet Slaughter was huge, but there were only a few tens of thousands of people inside, and most of them had joined the holy city of Scarlet Slaughter. Only about 10,000 people could afford to pay tens of millions for an entrance token. When Qin Yun bought the city entrance token, he heard that members of large factions can buy the city entrance token at half price. If the holy city of Scarlet Slaughter had many large powers, it could increase the overall strength of the entire city. Moreover, the holy city of Scarlet Slaughter would also recruit geniuses from those great powers. They should have already subdued some inscription beasts. Those powerful inscription beasts are a great threat, Qin Yun thought to himself as he walked on a wide road. The road led directly to the sun altar in the middle. The sun altar was located within a huge mountain villa. And that villa is the palace of the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City's city lord. The warriors from Sacred Desolate, as well as the outstanding core disciples, are all in that villa. Qin Yun looked at the villa surrounded by high walls in front of him. Using the extinction spirit eye, he could see that there were several layers of barriers surrounding the villa. They are well prepared. When Qin Yun saw the villa's barrier, he knew that it would be very difficult to break in. He could only sneak in. Now everyone knows that Qin Yun is very likely to attack the Scarlet Slaughter Holy City and destroy the sun altar inside. Therefore, it is very difficult to sneak into the City Lord Palace. On the streets, Qin Yun learned of some news. It was said that the Crimson Slaughter Sacred City had invited many powerful Earth Immortals from major factions to guard the sun altar together. The Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City's way of doing things is very smart. They invited many great powers of the Immortal Desolate to protect the sun altar. If you attack, you will inevitably kill the Earth Immortals of those great powers. This way, you will become the enemy of all the great powers of the Immortal Desolate. Ling Yun'er said. The Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City has the sun altar. Moreover, they have brought many good sacred tear tool, refining materials and sacred tear pills from Sacred Desolate. It is enough for those great powers to sign soul contract with them to protect the sun altar. Qin Yun nodded and said, the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City is not stupid. After they found out that Qin Yun is a 9th stage Earth Immortal, they believed that Qin Yun has enough power to destroy their sun altar. After all, there is the precedent of Dao Yang God Sect's altar being destroyed. They did not go to cause trouble for Qin Yun during this period of time, because they are very clear that even if they go to Heavenly Wind God Mountain to cause trouble for Qin Yun, they would only be delivering their heads. Therefore, they strengthened the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City's defense and joined hands with many great powers Earth Immortals to wait for Qin Yun to walk right into their trap. These guys are hiding inside and not coming out. It will be very strenuous for me to attack. Moreover, I will be attacked from inside. While walking, Qin Yun is thinking of an idea. He is holding the spirit-chasing talisman in his hand. The talisman is flickering with light rays. It is used to find Xiao Yueme. This little girl, she really came here to cause trouble. Qin Yun followed the direction of the spirit-chasing talisman and walked out of the bustling central area of the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City. He arrived at a place with mountains, rivers and many houses. The main reason why the disciples of the aristocratic families came to the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City is to cultivate and also to befriend the people of Sacred Desolate. The immortal energy inside the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City is very dense. Moreover, it is mixed with a lot of divine power. After all, the Scarlet Slaughter Swamp is formed from a huge Sun Divine stone. The Sun Divine power here is very dense. After Qin Yun arrived at the residential area, he feels somewhat suspicious because this kind of residence is very expensive and Xiao Yueme is staying here. The letter says that Yueme secretly ran here. It is impossible for Guang Han Palace to send disciples here. Then why is Yueme staying in this kind of high-grade residence? Qin Yun arrived in front of a large courtyard. There are many small buildings inside the large courtyard. It is clear that there are many people living inside. Although the courtyard is surrounded by high walls, there is no barrier protecting it. After Qin Yun concealed himself, he directly jumped inside. He is hiding his aura and is very careful. After all, this is the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City. If he makes a big commotion, it will not be small trouble. There are 5 buildings in the courtyard, and the direction pointed by the spirit-chasing talisman is the smallest building. It has a total of 2 floors. It is also very remote. It is near the wall. Qin Yun quickly walked over and saw that the door in the middle of the first floor is open. He can directly see the small living room. As soon as he walked over, he saw Xiao Yueme. Xiao Yueme is wearing a simple white dress. Her hair is tied up in a pair of ponytails. Her pretty and adorable face seems to be even more moist and also more gentle and beautiful. Her pair of beautiful eyes are filled with mischievous expression. She is looking at the dozen or so delicious desserts on the table with a smile. She licked her lips and began secretly eating the desserts on the table. Just as Qin Yun is about to go over, he suddenly sensed someone coming over. He promptly arrived beside the big tree, and through the tree totem, he fused his aura with the big tree. This way he can completely conceal himself. Xiao Yueme promptly stopped stealing. Moreover, she stealthily took away many desserts and fruit. Then she moved to the side and slightly lowered her head. The people who have arrived are handsome men and beautiful women. Looking at their attire, it is clear that they are children of great families. Their aura is also not weak. They are all very strong earth immortals. At this time, a petite girl sitting in a wheelchair came out from a room. Xiao Yueme promptly pushed the wheelchair and lightly yelled, "Seventh Miss, they have arrived!" The wheelchair girl lightly nodded. The wheelchair girl also has a pair of ponytails, just like Xiao Yueme. It is clear that Xiao Yueme helped her. The young girl's complexion is somewhat pale. Although she is very beautiful, she lacks a bit of spiritual energy. But her eyes are very delicate and moving. They are filled with unswerving determination. The young girl is sitting in a wheelchair, adding on her frail body. She must have been seriously injured or have some kind of strange disease. "Brothers and sisters, you all look very happy," the young girl said with sweet smile after seeing those young men and women enter the room. "Ying, we just returned from Holy City's main hall. We saw the geniuses of all the famous sects in Immortal Desolate," a handsome man said with proud smile. "Especially the children of immortal families, they are truly too awesome. Not only are they very strong, they even mastered Tao techniques. I feel that the disciples of Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate are the most awesome. Their bodies are covered with totems. Our Xiao family is also not weak. Our inscription technique is very strong. Big Brother's performance is very good." He received the applause of many people. Those young men and women are constantly talking about what they saw and heard in Holy City's main hall. "Then, brothers and sisters, did you ask the people of Sacred Desolate about my strange disease?" Xiao Ying asked in low voice. "About this, temporarily not. But don't worry, we will definitely help you ask. Ying, the snacks you made are very delicious," a woman said with smile. "If it's delicious, then eat more." Xiao Ying's haggard face is filled with a happy and sweet smile. Xiao Yueme lowered her head and kept swallowing her saliva. She looked at those people eating snacks with a very unhappy expression. It made her feel like she is feeding a pig with good food. Qin Yun now understands that this is the residence of the Xiao family, one of the 3 great inscription families. Xiao Yueme must be pretending to be Xiao Ying's maid. Xiao Ying has a strange disease. She came here to see a doctor, but her brothers and sisters don't seem to take this matter to heart, Ling Yuner said. After those brothers and sisters ate the snacks for a while, they packed them up and took them away. Not a single one was left behind. This made Xiao Yueme so angry that she secretly stamped her feet. "Seventh Miss, they don't even take your strange disease to heart. They only think about your sacred infant fruit snacks all day long. Those snacks were made by you using the sacred infant fruit. They are so delicious, they are all ruined by them." Xiao Yueme lightly groaned and said, "Yueme, maybe they won't have the chance to ask?" Xiao Yingying lightly sighed. I'm going to rest. Xiao Yuemei promptly pushed Xiao Yingying into the room, then walked out of the room and closed the door. She sat on a chair in the living room and began eating the snacks she just took away. Qin Yun suddenly walked over and appeared in the living room. When Xiao Yuemei saw someone suddenly appear, she was about to shout, but Qin Yun covered her mouth. Yuemei, it's me. Qin Yun said in low voice. Don't you remember me? Xiao Yuemei opened her eyes wide and looked at Qin Yun. She promptly shook her head and even bit Qin Yun's hand. If you don't shout, I'll let go, Qin Yun said in low voice. Xiao Yuemei nodded. After Qin Yun removed his hand, Xiao Yuemei promptly took out a small dagger and placed it on Qin Yun's abdomen. She said very fiercely, Scoundrel, who the hell are you? Although I'm very small, I'm very strong. I'm your brother, don't you remember me? Qin Yun looked at Xiao Yuemei's eyes and said anxiously. How can I have a brother? However, you look very familiar, I think I've seen you somewhere before. Xiao Yuemei said in low voice. Suddenly, Xiao Yingying's door opened. Seventh Miss, why did you come out? Xiao Yuemei promptly walked over and supported Xiao Yingying, who was leaning on a walking stick. Who is he? Xiao Yingying looked at Qin Yun and asked in low voice. Xiao Yuemei promptly said, He is my little brother. He is a very honest person, just a bit stupid. Hello, big sister. Qin Yun immediately grinned at Xiao Yingying. Chapter 1478. Xiao Yingying. Chapter 1478. Xiao Yingying. Qin Yun indeed changed his appearance. It is not strange for him to look like an uncle. He feels very sad in his heart because it seems like Xiao Yuemei doesn't remember him. Otherwise, even if he changed his appearance to an old man, Xiao Yuemei would have recognized him very quickly. Seventh Miss, my silly little brother's strength is very good. Can you let him stay and give him food and lodging? Xiao Yuemei said in low voice. Yuemei, is he really your little brother? He is just an uncle. Xiao Yingying sat on a chair with Xiao Yuemei's help. Her eyebrows are slightly knitted as she looked at Qin Yun. Xiao Yuemei said with smile. My silly little brother changed his appearance. As she spoke, she waved her hand and brought out some water. She gently sprinkled it on Qin Yun's face, wiping away the special makeup on his face. Very soon, Qin Yun's handsome face with distinct outline appeared. He really changed his appearance. Yuemei, your little brother is just as good looking as you. Xiao Yingying looked at Qin Yun and said with gentle smile. All right, I will let him stay, but I am worried that my brothers and sisters won't agree. Qin Yun doesn't know what Xiao Yuemei is doing, she actually wants him to stay. He also knows that Xiao Yuemei has a very good feeling towards him, that is why she wants him to stay. Xiao Yun, maybe this girl Yuemei remembers you, she is just pretending not to remember you, Ling Yuner suddenly said. This suddenly reminded Qin Yun. Xiao Yuemei is very mischievous, maybe she is playing a prank on him right now. Seventh Miss, my silly little brother is actually very small. He used a secret technique to become so big. After speaking, Xiao Yuemei placed her hand on Qin Yun's back and poured in a very strong earth immortal power. Qin Yun is secretly amazed. Xiao Yuemei is actually a very strong 9th layer earth immortal. Suddenly, Qin Yun felt that his body is somewhat itchy. Not long after, his body shrunk a lot. He became small. Xiao Yingying opened her beautiful eyes wide, her small mouth slightly opened in shock and yelled. Qin Yun has turned into a young and tender youth. He looks like 12 or 13 years old. He is a bit shorter than Xiao Yuemei. Silly little brother, he. Xiao Yuemei charmingly laughed and rubbed Qin Yun's young and inexperienced little handsome face. This is Xiao Yuemei's transformation technique. She can make people smaller or change their appearance. She can even turn a man into a woman. Several times before, Xiao Yuemei wanted to turn Qin Yun into a girl. All right, he will be my little attendant from now on. Xiao Yingying was a 13 or 14-year-old girl. She felt that it would be nice to have a handsome young man accompanying her. Seventh young mistress, go and rest. Xiao Yuemei signaled Qin Yun with her eyes and said, silly little brother, quickly carry seventh miss inside. Qin Yun hurriedly walked over and crouched down. Xiao Yuemei took care of Xiao Yingying and let her lie on Qin Yun's back. Qin Yun carried Xiao Yingying on his back. He felt that Xiao Yingying was a little heavy, but he believed that Xiao Yingying had armor on her body. She carried Xiao Yingying into the room and let her sit on the bed. Then Xiao Yuemei helped her lie down. Yuemei, what is your brother's name? Xiao Yingying asked. Xiao Yuemei looked at Qin Yun and said, silly little brother, what is your name? Seventh young mistress, you can call me Xiao Yun. Qin Yun grinned. Xiao Yun, I still have some snacks here. Xiao Yingying lied down on the bed and picked up a small box from the bedside. When she handed it to Qin Yun, her delicate arms are trembling. It seems like it is very strenuous for her to lift the box. Qin Yun promptly took it and touched Xiao Yingying's lily-white hand. He suddenly felt a very strange power. When he was carrying Xiao Yingying on his back, he probed her body but he did not discover anything. Xiao Yingying's situation is indeed very strange. Thank you, seventh miss. Qin Yun politely thanked her. Xiao Yingying is indeed a very innocent and kind little girl. Her current appearance caused Qin Yun's heart to ache. Xiao Yuemei promptly pulled Qin Yun out of Xiao Yingying's room. Qin Yun was pulled into another room by Xiao Yuemei. Here you go. Qin Yun handed over the box to Xiao Yuemei. Thank you. Xiao Yuemei took the box and said with smile. She opened the box and saw the snacks inside. She very quickly smiled in satisfaction and took out a white pastry and handed it over to Qin Yun. Qin Yun took the pastry and ate it, praising it incessantly. Hey, who the hell are you? If you did not give me a familiar feeling, I would have already called people and would not have let you stay here. Xiao Yuemei asked while eating the pastry. Yuemei, do you really not remember me? Qin Yun stared at Xiao Yuemei's eyes and asked. Who the hell are you? Could it be that you are my enemy? Xiao Yuemei immediately vigilantly said, Don't act recklessly, I am very strong. Qin Yun has now turned into a young boy but his power is still there. He said with smile, Yuemei, don't pretend you definitely remember me. After speaking, he extended his hand to pinch Xiao Yuemei's face but was slapped away by Xiao Yuemei. Don't touch me, I really don't know you. Xiao Yuemei lightly groaned and said, You bastard, be a bit more honest. Just follow me with peace of mind, take good care of seventh miss and be my silly little brother. Qin Yun is somewhat driven mad because his intuition is telling him that Xiao Yuemei must have recovered her memories. Now she is pretending to not know him and playing with him. If it was someone else, they might not be able to do anything to Xiao Yuemei, but Qin Yun very quickly thought of a way. He took out a jade box and said, Yuemei, do you know what is inside? Xiao Yuemei looked at the jade box, blinked her eyes and used her mental power to probe it. I don't know what is inside. Xiao Yuemei wanted to snatch the jade box but Qin Yun promptly put it away. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile, There is food inside. It is called unruffled intoxicated soul meat. It is so delicious that it can intoxicate people's soul and cause them to forget their feelings. Liar, there is definitely nothing inside. Xiao Yuemei curled her lips and said but she secretly swallowed her saliva. Unruffled intoxicated soul meat is made from immortal dragon king meat. There are 7 ways to make dragon meat: roast, fry, steam, stir-fry, boil and fry. Put together dragon meat made from different methods, then use a secret technique to fuse all the dragon meat together and finally refine it. There are 7 different flavors in one bite. This kind of feeling is so beautiful that it can cause people to forget their 7 emotions and become intoxicated. Qin Yun chuckled and said, This is a gift from an immortal emperor. You know that immortal emperor is the successor of the divine desolate food god, quickly give it to me. Xiao Yuemei finally could not bear it anymore. She pinched Qin Yun's handsome face and anxiously shouted, I want to eat! I want to eat! Quickly give it to me! Qin Yun pushed away Xiao Yuemei's hand and said with smile, That immortal emperor told me that people with low cultivation should not eat it, otherwise they would not be able to endure this kind of extreme delicacy. You also saw it, this box is sealed. If it is opened, that kind of delicacy, it can make people salivate for 3,000 feet. I ate it once before, I was intoxicated by that kind of delicacy, and was unable to extricate myself. When I woke up, 7 days had already passed. Xiao Yuemei grinded her jade teeth, and looked at Qin Yun as if she is extremely hungry. Her expression is as if she wants to eat Qin Yun up. You. Don't say any more, quickly take it out and let me have a taste. Xiao Yuemei said with slight anger. If you don't give it to me, I will be angry. As long as you say my name, I will let you eat it. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. You? How would I know what your name is? Aren't you called Xiao Yun? Xiao Yuemei suddenly became vigilant and said with low snort, You bastard, are you lying to me? It seems like you really don't remember me. AI, to think that I kept this box of intoxicated soul forgetting meat for so long. Qin Yun let out a long sigh and said, Forget it, I will go back and eat it myself. I also want to forget everything in this world. After speaking, he was about to leave the room. Xiao Yuemei promptly rushed over and pulled his hand. Brother, I was wrong, quickly give me a taste. I am dying of hunger. Wretched girl. Qin Yun turned around, pinched her cheeks and said with mischievous smile, You are still too tender in front of me, I knew you were pretending. Let me have a taste. Xiao Yuemei hugged Qin Yun and shook his body. I want to eat, I want to eat. Alright, the intoxicated soul forgetting meat is here. Qin Yun said with smile. He opened the box and slightly heated it up. There is indeed a fragrant dragon meat inside, moreover it is flickering with faint golden light. Xiao Yuemei promptly took it, used her mental power to control the dragon meat to float up and eat it. I knew there was no intoxicated soul forgetting meat. After Xiao Yuemei ate it, she lightly groaned and said, All right, but at least there is good dragon meat, it is very tasty. Qin Yun knew that Xiao Yuemei would definitely take the bait, but he did not disappoint her completely. After all, there is still delicious dragon meat. You little girl, why did you come to Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City by yourself? Qin Yun pinched her charming cheeks. Still pretending to forget me, still calling me your silly little brother, you are becoming more and more naughty. Xiao Yuemei curled her lips and said, Aren't I helping you conceal your identity? This way, who would suspect you? That's true. Qin Yun is very satisfied with his identity as a young boy. My good brother, you also saw 7th Miss situation, right? She is so pitiful, do you have any solution? Anyway, I don't have any solution. Xiao Yuemei suddenly frowned and said with bitter expression. How do you know Xiao Yingying? Qin Yun asked. It was Big Sister who arranged for me to infiltrate Xiao family and follow them to Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City. She is a Dao immortal, she can't come to Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City, so let me help you. Xiao Yuemei said. Yuelon is really something. Qin Yun shook his head and smiled. Big Sister is just concerned about you. Xiao Yuemei giggled and said, Brother, did you and Big Sister succeed? We almost succeeded but we were interrupted. Qin Yun said. Useless. Xiao Yuemei ate the dragon meat and said with mocking expression. Qin Yun rubbed Xiao Yuemei's charming face and asked, What is Xiao Yingying's situation? I don't know, when I infiltrated Xiao family, she was already like this. Xiao Yuemei said, She is really good, the pastries she makes are very delicious, they are even made with sacred infant fruits energy. I will have to examine her in detail to figure out her situation. Qin Yun said. Don't look at her like this, she is Xiao family master's most beloved granddaughter. If you cure her, Xiao family will not treat you unfairly, Xiao Yueme said with mischievous smile. Xiao family is an inscription aristocratic family, they have many good things. Suddenly, someone entered the small living room. Qin Yun and Xiao Yueme immediately noticed. Chapter 1479. Mysterious Ability. Chapter 1479. Mysterious Ability. Just as Qin Yun was about to go out, Xiao Yueme suddenly pulled him back. Don't go out first, let's see what that guy is doing. Xiao Yueme took out a small mirror and saw the situation inside the small hall. Qin Yun saw a shifty-looking thin-faced youth. It is the fifth young master. This guy is called Xiao Zhongjie. He is seventh young Mrs. fifth brother. He has the same father but different mother. Xiao Yueme said in low voice. What is he doing inside the hall? Why is he not knocking on the door? Xiao Zhongjie is indeed sitting inside the hall with his eyes closed. It is unknown what he is doing. Yueme, did you forget about me before? Qin Yun suddenly asked. How is that possible? I can't forget about you. Xiao Yueme stuck out her tongue and said with smile. Others forgot about you, like Xiao Tian and Sister Yi. Back then, Xiao Yueme, Kong Feiqing, Gong Fian and Yi Yaoshua followed Yu Shutian to search for the star god altar in the starry sky. Now they are all inside the Guang Han Palace. You lied to me. Qin Yun lightly groaned and said. Evil God told me before that you forgot about me. He mentioned me many times in front of you, but you just don't remember. Really? Evil God really said that? This guy is definitely talking nonsense. How come I don't remember him contacting me? Xiao Yueme mumbled in low voice, then looked at the mirror and said, Brother, look at that guy. He took out a box of pastries and put it on the table. What is he doing? You little girl, you just don't want to admit it even if you die. Qin Yun pinched her little face and said with smile. All right, it was little Malian who helped me recover that part of my memory. Little Malian is really awesome. If not for her, we would have cultivated Saint Tyr's soul to remember you. Xiao Yueme stuck out her tongue and said. Qin Yun and Xiao Yueme are inside the room. There is a sound isolation barrier set up by Xiao Yueme. Her mirror has the ability of Gemini Treasure Mirror. She has recorded some runes in it for so many years. It can be used to make simple talismans and formations. She is now looking at the situation inside the hall through the mirror. That fifth young master Xiao Zhongjie took out a box of pastries and sat there for a while. Then he knocked on Xiao Yueme's door. Qin Yun immediately turned invisible. Xiao Yueme lightly snorted and said, This fifth young master is trying to play tricks in front of me? How stupid! She walked over to open the door and pretended to be very humble, like a little maid. Fifth young master, what's the matter? Xiao Yueme asked in a low voice. I remember your name is Huamei, right? Xiao Zhongjie asked. It's Yueme. Xiao Yueme whispered. Moldy as in moldy? Does it mean that the moon is moldy? Ha ha! What a good name! Xiao Zhongjie's pointy mouth was smiling, and he looked like he deserved a beating. Xiao Yueme is very calm, otherwise she would have already jumped up and slapped him. Fifth young master, seventh miss is resting. Xiao Yueme said again. I know. That's why I came to find you. Xiao Zhongjie smiled and said, There's a box of pastries outside. When the third young master comes, give it to him. That box of pastries. Xiao Yueme stretched her neck and looked at the table. Seventh sister asked me to give it to third brother. I suddenly had something to do, so I asked third brother to come and take it himself. All right, that's it. I have urgent matters to attend to, I'll be leaving first. Xiao Zhongjie finished speaking and left in a hurry. Xiao Yueme hastily went over. Qin Yun is also beside her. Brother, I bet this box of pastries is poisoned. That guy wants to poison the third young master? Xiao Yueme opened the box and saw that there are indeed many pastries inside. She said again, This is made by seventh miss, I really want to eat it. Qin Yun said, Yueme, what do you plan to do? Give it to the third young master? If it is given to the third young master and he is poisoned to death, Xiao Zhongjie will frame me or frame seventh miss. Xiao Yueme said with frown. If I don't give it to the third young master and Xiao Zhongjie finds out, he will come looking for trouble with me. She thought for a moment, looked at Qin Yun and asked, Brother, come up with an idea. Qin Yun took the box and said with smile, Have you seen the third young master? Transform me into the third young master's appearance. Tonight I will sneak into Xiao Zhongjie's room and beat him up. Then I will return the box of pastries to him. This is a good idea, as expected of my brother. At that time, the conflict between Xiao Zhongjie and the third young master will become even deeper. Xiao Yueme giggled and caressed Qin Yun's small handsome face. The sky is gradually turning dark. Xiao Yueme transformed Qin Yun into the third young master's appearance. After Qin Yun carefully inspected the box of pastries, he discovered that they are indeed poisoned. He put on night clothes and a mask and quietly arrived at Xiao Zhongjie's room late at night. Xiao Zhongjie is lying on a large white bed with his arms wide open. His body is emitting white mist. He is currently cultivating and has not discovered that someone has arrived. Qin Yun has concealed his aura and is also a 9th-layer Earth immortal. Xiao Zhongjie, a 7th-layer Earth immortal, is just a weak chicken in front of him. After Qin Yun rushed over, he stuck a talisman on Xiao Zhongjie's body. This talisman produces a special power that blocked Xiao Zhongjie's throat and prevented him from making any sound. Bang bang bang! Qin Yun brandished his fists and started violently beating Xiao Zhongjie. Every time he punched, several hundred punches landed on Xiao Zhongjie's body. In just a short period of time, Xiao Zhongjie's body has been punched from head to toe. His face is swollen and his entire body is in pain. Qin Yun did not use immortal power to avoid leaking his aura. He is only using the power of his body. After the talisman was taken off by Qin Yun, Xiao Zhongjie can finally speak. He painfully groaned and said, You! Who are you? Qin Yun did not reply. Instead he took out the box of pastries and pinched Xiao Zhongjie's cheek, forcing him to open his mouth. Seeing the box, Xiao Zhongjie's body trembled. Then he started struggling and tried to grab Qin Yun's mask. Qin Yun deliberately let the mask fall. Xiao Zhongjie also saw the third young master's face and immediately became furious. Third brother, it's you. Qin Yun picked up the mask and left the box of poisoned pastries. Then he jumped out of the window and returned to Xiao Yingying's house. Xiao Zhongjie is unable to restrain his anger, but he is somewhat puzzled in his heart. He cursed in low voice. When did third brother become so powerful? He actually beat me to the point that I can't fight back? Could it be that he broke through? Or was he hiding his strength all along? This bastard almost killed me. No way, I can't suffer like this. After Qin Yun returned, he told Xiao Yueme what happened. Hearing this, Xiao Yueme laughed delicately again and again. And Qin Yun has been turned back into a handsome young man by Xiao Yueme. Brother, if you want to destroy that altar, you must enter that super large villa. It is very difficult to enter, Xiao Yueme said. But I am not afraid because I met the extremely intelligent Queen Yueme. Qin Yun said with smile and then held Xiao Yueme's small hand. Xiao Yueme very happily smiled and said, Brother, since you said so, I will definitely help you infiltrate that large villa. Yueme, do you have any plan? Qin Yun said with stern expression. I do. It is to cure Yingying, that 7th young miss. So long as she recovers, she will be invited to that large villa and we will be able to sneak in, Xiao Yueme said. Xiao family is one of the 3 great inscription aristocratic families, moreover it is a very ancient one. They have many things related to inscription beasts, so they have very high status. Qin Yun said with frown. Yingying is just a little girl? Can she really enter that large villa? Xiao Yueme pinched Qin Yun's ear and said, There is a reason why Ying can be doted on by Shao family patriarch. She has a very special ability since childhood. She can resurrect all living things from the dead. What do you mean? Qin Yun asked in amazement. For example, withered flowers, she can resurrect them with just a touch. If someone is about to die, she can release a special ability and resurrect that person. She can even prolong that person's life. Xiao Yuemei said in low voice. Ying told me this, others don't know. Qin Yun sighed and said, I finally understand her strange illness. She can control this kind of heaven-defying ability. Her life will be shortened. Xiao Yuemei nodded and said, I also think so. She said that every time she uses that ability, her body will become even weaker. Brother, you have been punished by heavenly punishment before. You should have a lot of experience in fighting against heavens. I don't know, I have to go and take a look. Qin Yun can be considered as someone who has experienced it. He was tortured unbearably before, and there might be other heavenly punishment waiting for him in the future. I will go and take a look at her now. Xiao Yuemei said. Let's go, Ying trusts me. Qin Yun was pulled by Xiao Yuemei to Xiao Ying's room. It is the middle of the night. Qin Yun felt that it is not very good. However, Xiao Yuemei said that she is fine, so he can only follow Xiao Ying into her room. After arriving at Xiao Ying's room, Qin Yun sensed a very dense Yin energy. He is extremely alarmed and anxiously shouted, Scram! The Yin energy enveloping Xiao Ying's body also suddenly disappeared. Xiao Ying is now sweating profusely, her haggard little face is filled with pain. Seventh Miss, what happened to you? Xiao Yuemei promptly walked over and hugged Xiao Ying. Xiao Ying slowly opened her eyes. After seeing Xiao Yuemei, she tightly hugged Xiao Yuemei and said in low voice, That thing came again, it is torturing my soul. It wants to take over my body. How long has it been going on? Qin Yun walked over and asked. Xiao Ying looked at Qin Yun. She also knows that Qin Yun just shouted and forced that thing to retreat. It has been several years. It often appears when I am sleeping, causing me great pain. Xiao Ying said in low voice. Xiao Yun, you are really awesome. If not for your voice just now, that thing would not have left and my soul would have continued to be tormented. Is that filthy thing the root of your illness? Xiao Yuemei asked. I don't know. Xiao Ying shook her head. My body has been very weak since childhood. That thing only appeared in recent years. Qin Yun sat on the bedside and asked, Seventh Miss, can I check your situation? Chapter 1480. The cause of a strange disease, I don't know. But I will definitely do my best. Qin Yun placed his hand on Xiao Ying's back and injected his powerful mental power. Xiao Ying sensed Qin Yun's terrifying mental power and said in shock, Xiao Yun, your mental power is very strong, it seems even stronger than my father's. Xiao Yuemei said with smile, Sister Ying, Xiao Yun is very awesome, he can definitely cure you. Xiao Ying nodded. After Qin Yun injected his mental power into Xiao Ying's body, he did not discover anything. Then, he said in a low voice, Sister Ying, relax your mental power. I want to probe your soul. And Xiao Ying slowly took a deep breath. Qin Yun guided his mental power into Xiao Ying's soul to conduct a more detailed investigation. Soon, he was surprised to discover that there was a very weak trace of spatial energy left in Xiao Ying's soul. During this period of time, Zhongyu had been studying the core of the mirror, studying the space totem carvings, and studying the teleportation talismans. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to discover that weak spatial energy. Xiao Ying's soul and body were fine. They weren't damaged. The reason she was weak was because the power of her body and soul had been stolen bit by bit. Sis Ying, did anyone do anything to your soul in the past? Qin Yun suddenly asked. Xiao Ying shook her head. In my memory, there's no such thing. Why do you think it's a strange illness? Asked Qin Yun. My grandfather said that I have a special ability, but my body can't control it. I need to borrow power from the heavens. I've borrowed it a few times. When I borrow power from the heavens, my body is easily invaded by evil spirits. Xiao Yingying sighed. I don't understand this either. It's all from my grandfather. Ling Yun'er suddenly said to Qin Yun, Xiao Yun, ask her if she has participated in any large-scale sacrificial ceremony. Sister Yingying, have you participated in any large-scale sacrificial ceremonies since you were young? Asked Qin Yun. Yes. It was the Xiao clan's clan assembly that happens once every 1,000 years. I was only 2 years old at that time and was placed on an altar. I only remember that much. Xiao Yingying thought for a moment, then shook her head and said, I don't remember anything else. Qin Yun heaved a sigh of relief. He roughly understood the reason. Grandpa took me to many people, but none of them knew what kind of strange illness I have. Xiao Yingying said with determination, This strange disease has tortured me for many years, but I'm not afraid. I must defeat this strange disease. Xiao Yuanmei knows what Qin Yun has discovered and asked, Xiao Yun, do you know the reason? I roughly know. It's too mysterious. The main thing is that under certain circumstances, Sister Yingying's soul can connect with other spaces, or rather, open up tiny spatial rifts. And that space's evil soul power can seep in and absorb her power. Qin Yun said. How can we solve this? Xiao Yuanmei promptly asked. Doesn't it mean that there is someone absorbing Sister Yingying's energy? Yes, that guy will not kill her. He will only make her very weak and then possess her body. Then, he will be able to successfully come to this world. Qin Yun said. Fortunately, it is an evil thing, I can temporarily alleviate it. But if I want to completely solve it, I will need some time. Qin Yun finished speaking and took out a talisman. It is a power-storing talisman. He poured overwhelming righteous power into it until the talisman could no longer contain it. Then he handed it over to Xiao Yingying. Take it with you. Later when you sleep, that thing won't come and torture you, Qin Yun said with smile. Then he placed his hand on Xiao Yingying's back and poured in his 9th layer Earth Immortal Power. His Earth Immortal Power was cultivated through 9 Sun Divine Spirit absorbing Sun Power. Then he cultivated it through Nether Sun and Immortal Devil Sacred Body, so it is very formidable and has very strong recovery power. Xiao Yingying said in amazement, Xiao Yun, you are really strong, even stronger than my brothers and sisters. Now Xiao Yuanmei can see that Xiao Yingying's complexion has become rosy. She is no longer as haggard as before. Qin Yun mixed overwhelming righteous power with his formidable mental power and then poured it into Xiao Yingying's soul, gently wrapping it up. It can only temporarily alleviate it. It can't be completely eradicated. Sister Yingying, your soul is very special. Under certain circumstances, it can mysteriously wander around other spaces. Because your soul is too weak, you have been targeted by those evil spirits. Qin Yun said. Thank you, Xiao Yun. I feel much better now. I have never felt so comfortable. Xiao Yingying is now very spirited. She is not as haggard as before. Sister Yingying, then you should make some delicious pastries for Xiao Yun. Xiao Yuanmei pulled Xiao Yingying's warm lily-white hand and said with charming smile. Xiao Yingying nodded with smile. I will start now. Let's talk about it at daybreak. Rest well. Qin Yun said with smile. Yuanmei, accompany me to sleep. Xiao Yingying pulled Xiao Yuanmei, not letting her go. All right. Xiao Yuanmei also climbed onto Xiao Yingying's bed. Qin Yun walked out and closed the door. Ling Yun'er said, Xiao Yun, is the power of heavenly punishment on Yingying's body? It's hard to say, but there is definitely some relation. Qin Yun said, She has mastered a very strong rebirth power. It is not as simple as quick recovery. It can bring the dead back to life. I suspect that it is a kind of heavenly rune or divine rune power. But when you probed, you did not discover anything. Ling Yun said. Let's talk about it later. Wait for me to contact Big Sister Star God and ask her. She should have a way. Qin Yun said. At daybreak, after Qin Yun washed up, he came to the living room and saw Xiao Yueme happily eating pastries and fruit. There are many plates of pastries on the round table in the small living room. There are all kinds of pastries and they all look very delicious and delicious. Xiao Yueme giggled while eating, she is extremely happy. Qin Yun also sat at the side and ate. Xiao Yingying is wearing a light yellow long dress. Her small face is rosy and full of vitality, not as pale as paper like before. Her face has a sweet smile, just like Xiao Yueme, she is smiling very happily. Sister Yingying, Xiao Yun is very awesome, but don't go around talking about it. Xiao Yueme said with smile. I won't talk nonsense. Xiao Yingying nodded. She saw that Qin Yun and Xiao Yueme are enjoying the desserts she made and smiled happily. Not long after, a car arrived outside. The car was even pulled by 2 black tigers. When Qin Yun saw the 2 tigers, he thought of the heavenly tiger stars people. Suddenly a beautiful woman wearing red dress walked down from the car. After she came in, she saw Xiao Yueme eating pastries and immediately shouted in anger. This damned girl, she actually dared to eat such precious things, quickly stop. Xiao Yueme and Qin Yun promptly stopped and stood at the side. Sixth sister, why can't Yueme eat these pastries? I specially made them for her. Xiao Yingying immediately became dissatisfied. That sixth sister coldly groaned and said, Does a little girl like her deserve to eat? You mixed the holy infant fruit's energy to make these things. If you sell them, you will make a profit. What right does a little maid like her have to eat them? Xiao Yueme lowered her head and rolled her eyes. If not for Xiao Yingying's face, she would have definitely tormented that sixth sister. Yingying, who is this little demon? That sixth sister saw a handsome little youth, and her expression became even colder. He is Yueme's little brother. Xiao Yingying said. What? This little maid even brought her family here. Does she think our Xiao family is her home? Quickly make that little demon scram. That sixth sister finished speaking and said again, How did he enter this holy city? I bought a token to enter. Qin Yun spoke, took out a city entrance token and said, Yo, 50 million immortal jade beads. You are quite rich. That sixth sister is very astonished because even she is not willing to use so many immortal jade beads to buy a city entrance token. Their Xiao family members don't need to buy a city entrance token to enter the city, they can obtain it for free. Yueme is my big sister, I came here to visit her. Qin Yun said again. Truth be told, Yueme and I both come from an ancient and mysterious family. Big sister is rather willful, she wanted to come out to see this immortal desolate that is about to perish and just happened to meet Sister Yingying. Seeing Sister Yingying's condition, she stayed by her side to take care of her. Xiao Yueme is stunned, she did not expect Qin Yun to suddenly say this. After that sixth sister heard this, she is also very astonished. Qin Yun said again, Big sister Yueme has already started to cure Sister Yingying's strange illness. Don't tell me you didn't notice that Sister Yingying is much better? Xiao Yueme lightly groaned and said, How could she notice? As soon as she came in, all her attention was on those pastries. That sixth sister also discovered that Xiao Yingying's skin is white and rosy, her beautiful eyes are intelligent, her entire person is full of vigor and vitality. Sixth sister, what they said is true. Xiao Yingying also feels that what Qin Yun said is true. Xiao Yueme is eating a pastry while walking over. She coldly groaned and said, Xiao Qianqian, you don't know, actually it was your grandfather who arranged for me to stay by Sister Yingying's side. Qin Yun and Xiao Yueme are experts in deceiving people, and on top of that, they are also very strong. Is this true? Xiao Qianqian doesn't dare to believe it. Xiao Yueme faintly smiled and then released a very strong aura. Xiao Qianqian immediately retreated a few steps in fright. Her face is filled with fear as she said, You are very strong. Indeed. Xiao Yuemei said. All right, grandfather is truly something. He actually did not tell me about this. Xiao Qianqian very quickly calmed down and said, Heavenly Tiger Stars people said that they can cure any strange illness, and they don't charge any fees, so I agreed to bring Yingying over to let them take a look. Then let's go meet them. Sister Yingying's strange illness has not been completely cured. If they have a way, that would be for the best. Xiao Yuemei said, Let's go. After speaking, she put away all the pastries on the table, causing sixth sister Xiao Qianqian to gnash her teeth in anger. Xiao Yingying is now listening to Xiao Yuemei's arrangement and agreed to meet the Heavenly Tiger Stars people. When Qin Yun found out that they are from Heavenly Tiger Star, he realized that there is something fishy going on. Heavenly Tiger Stars people are bandits. How could they help people cure illness and not charge any fees? Therefore, Qin Yun also boarded the carriage. The two tigers pulling the carriage are from Heavenly Tiger Star. Are we going to enter the City Lord Palace? Xiao Yuemei asked. Chapter 1481. Looking at the holy infant fruit, Xiao Qianqian saw that Xiao Yuemei is very strong and is secretly protecting Xiao Yingying. Although she is somewhat suspicious in her heart, she did not ask anything, because she knew from childhood that her grandfather doted on Xiao Yingying very much. Qin Yun looks like a young boy, so Xiao Qianqian is not very vigilant. She is only curious about which mysterious family Qin Yun came from. Sixth sister, it is very difficult to enter Holy City Palace, but it seems like all of you have entered before. Xiao Yingying said. That is because of our Xiao family's status. Although Heavenly Tiger Star is very strong and their inscription aspect is also not bad, they are inferior to our Xiao family in the aspect of inscription beasts. Xiao Qianqian very proudly said, Therefore Heavenly Tiger Star is very jealous of our Xiao family. Sixth Miss, since Heavenly Tiger Star is so jealous of Xiao family, why did they agree to treat Sister Yingying? Xiao Yuemei asked, Don't you find it strange? That's because they gave me face. Our few aristocratic families' younger generation met with Heavenly Tiger Star's Earth Immortals. Then I mentioned Yingying's strange illness in passing. Big brother, third brother and fifth brother are all there. These three guys have good relationship with Heavenly Tiger Star's people, but they did not mention it. I mentioned it. Xiao Qianqian said. Sixth sister, you are so good to me. Xiao Yingying very happily said. Xiao Yingying, although you and I are half-sisters, among the seven of us, only you and I are women. Of course I have to be good to you. Xiao Qianqian gently caressed her little sister's face, and said with gentle smile. Xiao Yuemei and Qin Yun can see that this Xiao Qianqian has her own little scheme. Second brother and fourth brother are also there. Young people from our Xiao family, Qi family and several other large families are there. Xiao Qianqian said again. Originally, everyone wanted to see you, but because it was not convenient for you, we did not invite you. I am much better now. Xiao Yingying said. It is all thanks to Yuemei and Xiao Yun. Xiao Yingying looks much younger than Xiao Yuemei, but Xiao Yuemei calls her sister. This is also Xiao Yuemei calling her sister for fun. Sister Yingying, even if Heavenly Tiger Star's people can't cure you, Xiao Yun and I can. Don't worry, Xiao Yuemei said with smile. She and Qin Yun both knew that the Heavenly Tiger Planet's people were attacking the Guanghan Palace, so they were very hostile towards the Heavenly Tiger Planet. They were going over now to see what tricks the people of Heavenly Tiger Planet were playing. Xiao Yingying nodded. Sixth Miss, after we get there, tell those people that we are taking care of Sister Yingying's little attendants. Xiao Yuemei said. Got it. Xiao Qianqian was very cooperative because she knew that the little servant girl in front of her was very strong. She was secretly sent by her grandfather, and came from a very mysterious big family. Not long after, the car drove into a large manor. Xiao Qianqian got out of the car first, then helped Xiao Yingying out. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuemei were the last to go down. They came to a garden. There were dozens of people there. They were all disciples of the big families, and they were all at the Earth celestial stage. They are here to exchange all kinds of things, such as runes, weapons, cultivation, or even some things they have seen and heard. There were also people who took out their proudest immortal artifacts for others to admire. There were also some who took out very rare immortal talismans and proudly talked about the power of those immortal talismans. This kind of exchange gathering is very common. As long as the disciples of the big families gathered together, they would usually hold it. After Xiao Yingying arrived, she attracted the attention of many people. Everyone here knows that Xiao Yingying has obtained the approval of a sacred infant fruit. She can obtain energy from the sacred infant fruit and then use it to make delicious pastries. It is also because of those pastries that Xiao Yingying's older brothers and sisters treat this little sister very well on the surface. This way they can obtain more pastries for them to give as gift. Qin Yun saw the fifth young master Xiao Zhongjie, who was beaten up by him. The injury on his face has actually disappeared, but his complexion is not very good. It is clear that his vitality is greatly injured. After Xiao Yingying arrived, the Xiao family's brothers and sisters immediately greeted her with smiling faces. They all look somewhat hypocritical. Xiao Yuemei is already used to this kind of thing. She only lightly snorted. The people from the heavenly tiger planet are a few youths wearing white tiger skin clothes. They are all walking over with smiles on their faces. Apart from them, there are also youths from Immortal Family and Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate who are looking at Xiao Yingying from the side. It must be known that obtaining the approval of the sacred infant fruit is very difficult. Therefore, everyone here wants to know how Xiao Yingying did it. As more and more divine mountains and holy lands are explored, more and more people have discovered the sacred infant fruit. However, those sacred infant fruits are very difficult to catch. They can fly to the sky and dive into the earth inside the divine mountain. Their speed of escaping is very fast. Being able to see them is already very good. Xiao Yingying obtained one and also obtained the peculiar and formidable energy from the sacred infant fruit. This caused many people to be extremely envious. Yingying, take out your sacred infant fruit and let everyone broaden their horizons. A handsome man with 2 strokes of beard walked over and said with faint smile, "Big brother, can I not take it out? That little guogua is resting." "I don't want to disturb little Guogua's rest," Xiao Yingying said in low voice. "This big brother is called Xiao Jingyuan. He is a very strong 9th stage Earth Immortal and also a venerable master. Young and powerful and also a venerable master, this is indeed very rare. Even the warriors from Sacred Desolate are very respectful towards Xiao Jingyuan. It doesn't matter, take it out for everyone to see," Xiao Jingyuan urged with smile. "Yingying, everyone is waiting for you here to see the sacred infant fruit." Qin Yun and Xiao Yuemei suddenly became somewhat angry. Xiao Qianqian said with somewhat angry voice, "Big brother, didn't you call Yingying over to let Heavenly Tiger Star's people treat her illness?" "This, of course," Xiao Jingyuan said with smile. "But Yingying's sacred infant fruit is something that everyone wants to see." At this time, a young man from Heavenly Tiger Star walked over and said with smile, "Miss Yingying, your illness is rather serious. We can cure it, but we need you to use the sacred infant fruit to exchange." I don't want to exchange." Even the innocent and kind-hearted Xiao Yingying is now very angry because she can see that Heavenly Tiger Star's people are swindling her. Xiao Yuemei promptly walked over and pulled Xiao Yingying away. She said, "Sister Yingying, let's go, don't pay attention to those guys. Disturbing little Guogua's sleep will weaken his energy, don't believe their words." It is also because Xiao Yingying's current condition is very good that Xiao Yueme let her come out to see the treacherous side of some older brothers. Xiao Jingyuan saw that his sister is angry and promptly said in deep voice, "That little servant girl, what are you talking about? Since when did you have the right to speak here? Indeed, this is my Heavenly Tiger Star's territory, servants like you shouldn't butt in." Heavenly Tiger Star's youth shouted in cold voice. She is my subordinate, she is talking to me, it has nothing to do with you." Although Xiao Yingying has been bedridden for many years, she has always been resisting the torment of her illness. She is also very strong. Now seeing Xiao Yueme being bullied, she promptly stood up. Heavenly Tiger Star's people said with sneer, "Miss Yingying, that little servant girl is indeed your subordinate, but this is my territory. My territory has a rule that servants are not allowed to speak. If she speaks, her tongue will be cut off, otherwise she can forget about leaving this place." Xiao Jingyuan yelled, "Yingying, don't be willful, quickly take out your holy infant fruit for everyone to see." Big Brother also promised others to let them see the holy infant fruit. "I won't give it." Xiao Yingying very angrily shouted at Xiao Jingyuan, "You are so hateful! I didn't expect you to be this kind of person, you hypocritical guy. I will never give you pastries again. Seventh sister, don't mess around. Quickly take out the holy infant fruit." That fifth young master Xiao Zhongjie also shouted, "Fifth brother, you are also a hateful person, you are also very hypocritical. Last time I told you to give the box of pastries to third brother, you definitely did not give it to him." Xiao Yingying very angrily said, "Yingying, ignore them. Sixth sister is here." Xiao Qianqian promptly pulled Xiao Yingying's small hand and said, "Let's go. You are not allowed to leave." Heavenly Tiger Star's people teased, "You can leave, but that little servant girl must stay." At this moment, a large group of people blocked Xiao Yingying and others' path. The children of other aristocratic families also joined in. They want to see the holy infant fruit, so they cannot let Xiao Yingying leave just like that. "Enough, my grandfather loves Yingying very much," a man suddenly said. "I am Yingying's second brother, don't bully my little sister in front of me. Yingying's body is not good, you guys are making her angry. If grandfather finds out, he will be very angry." The one who spoke is fourth brother. "I say, you guys, what kind of man are you to bully a little girl?" That third brother also stood up, "Otherwise there will be no pastries to eat in the future." Second brother, third brother, fourth brother, thank you all. Xiao Yingying said. Xiao Jingyuan said in cold voice, "You guys don't make a fool of yourselves. Our Xiao family has the holy infant fruit, what's wrong with taking it out for everyone to see? I am the boss, whatever I say you have to do." Heavenly Tiger Star's man said with smile, "Miss Yingying, if you take out the holy infant fruit for us to see, we won't cut that little girl's tongue." Xiao Yueme has been suppressing her belly full of anger for a long time, but thinking that this is Scarlet Slaughter Holy City, she can only endure and not implicate Xiao Yingying. Xiao Yingying knows that Heavenly Tiger Star's people are very powerful. She is also hesitating whether or not she should take out the holy infant fruit. At this time, Qin Yun suddenly said, "Sister Yingying's holy infant fruit just evolved, it became very special and mystical. She is not willing to take it out because she is afraid that everyone can't see it." "There is such a thing? How come I don't know?" Xiao Jingyuan said in amazement. "If one's heart is not right, or if they have done bad things before, they will not be able to see that mystical holy infant fruit. I once secretly ate pastries, so I can't see Sister Yingying's holy infant fruit." Qin Yun sighed and said, "My little follower only did one bad thing and now she can't see the holy infant fruit. A3, I truly regret it." Xiao Yueme promptly sent voice transmission to Xiao Yingying, telling her to pretend to take out the holy infant fruit. Xiao Yingying also did the same. She spread out her palm and said, "This is my holy infant fruit. can you see it? Actually, there is nothing on her palm. Such a cute little guagua. Xiao Qianqian's face is immediately filled with envy and intoxication. She sighed and said, I also want one. Chapter 1482. God of Space. Xiao Yuanmei lightly sighed and said, I also secretly ate cakes and did bad things. I also can't see cute little guagua anymore. The holy infant fruit was a baby the size of a fruit. It looked very cute, and according to legends, many holy infant fruits were similar. Xiao Qianqian smiled and said, Fortunately, I haven't done anything bad, so I can see it. By the way, this little guagua doesn't seem to have changed much. The holy infant fruit was a miraculous existence in everyone's hearts. Now that they knew that the holy infant fruit had such an ability, they were skeptical. Xiao Yingying looked at Xiao Jingyuan and the others and asked, Can you see? I really took little guagua out? Of course I can. Xiao Jingyuan didn't want others to say that he was a scheming person, so he smiled and said, Yingying, your little guagua is still the same as before. There hasn't been any change. I thought there would be a huge change after the evolution. It's just like the legends. It looks like a baby. The man from the heavenly tiger star laughed out loud. But speaking of which, the holy infant fruit is really magical. It should be a fruit that can transform into a human. Look at that baby's nose and mouth, how exquisite, it's a little thing filled with spirit energy. In fact, Xiao Jingyuan and the man from Heavenly Tiger Planet could not see anything. However, they believed that the holy infant fruit was really in Xiao Yingying's hands. They deliberately said this to let others know that they were all upright people. Xiao Yuanmei and Qin Yun are secretly laughing in their hearts. They did not expect that someone like Xiao Jingyuan would jump in so quickly. At this time, there were also many people saying that they could see the holy infant fruit in Xiao Yingying's hand. He even kept on praising the holy infant fruit, describing how cute it was and how magical it was. Everyone present had more or less done some bad things. Now, they didn't see anything at all, but they didn't dare to say that they didn't see anything. Otherwise, they would be suspected of having bad intentions. Little guagua is going to rest. Has everyone seen enough? Xiao Yingying asked. She continued to spread out her palm, pretending to caress the holy infant fruit. I've seen enough, I've seen enough. Someone laughed. Miss Yingying, thank you so much. If not for you, we wouldn't even have the chance to see the holy infant fruit with our own eyes. Yeah, we saw the holy infant fruit today. In the future, we can brag about it when we return. A middle-aged man said with a smile. When Xiao Yingying saw how hypocritical the group of people in front of her was, she secretly despised them. At the same time, she admired Qin Yun's method. Of course, Xiao Qianqian knew that this was Qin Yun's idea. It was also because of her cooperation that many people believed it. Yingying, your little attendant actually stole pastries to eat. You have to be more careful in the future, Xiao Jingyuan said. These two little followers have bad intentions. If they can't see your holy infant fruit, I won't feel at ease leaving them by your side. Grandpa arranged for them to come, Xiao Yingying said with a smile. Who asked the pastries I made to be so delicious? That's why they couldn't help but eat one or two. Grandpa sent him? All right, then quickly go back and rest. Xiao Jingyuan said. Just now, Big Brother was a bit impulsive, please forgive me. Xiao Yingying nodded, then brought Qin Yun and Xiao Yuanmei with her, and left with Xiao Qianqian. After Qin Yun and company left, Xiao Zhongjie walked over and asked Xiao Jingyuan in low voice. Big Brother, can you see the holy infant fruit? Nonsense, of course I can see it. Fifth Brother, did you not see it and then pretended to see it? You have done so many wicked things, it would be strange if you could see it. Xiao Jingyuan said with smile. Big Brother, I saw it very clearly just now, don't talk nonsense. Xiao Zhongjie said in dissatisfaction. After Qin Yun and company left, the people here are still fervently discussing the holy infant fruit. Everyone said that they saw it and are seriously discussing the holy infant fruit. It is as if the holy infant fruit really exists. However, there is really nothing on Xiao Yingying's palm. Inside the large carriage, Xiao Yingying feels somewhat guilty and said in low voice, "I am swindling people. Isn't this too bad?" "It's nothing, those bastards deserve to be swindled. Looking at their stupid appearance, I almost laughed out loud." Xiao Yueme giggled and said, "Sister Yingying, you should use this kind of method to deal with them. Look at them, they are so hypocritical. Especially Big Brother, he is actually so bad." Xiao Yingying lightly sighed and said, "My body was not good before, so I never understood these things. Now I can clearly see their true colors." "Yingying, don't be sad, there is still me, sixth sister." Xiao Qianqian laughed, then looked at Qin Yun and said with smile, "You little demon, you really have a way. You did not let Yingying take out the holy infant fruit, yet you can get rid of those guys and even see a joke." In front of Xiao Yun, they are still tender, Xiao Yueme said with smile. Sometimes, even she has to concede defeat. After all, Qin Yun is immortal King Fu Yun, even if he doesn't have the memories of his past life. His talent is still there. Qin Yun's expression is somewhat grave. He has not spoken a single word. Xiao Yueme nudged him and asked, "Xiao Yun, what is it? I am worried that Heavenly Tiger Star's people will use force. You also saw it just now, those guys said they want to cut off your tongue, moreover they want the holy infant fruit," Qin Yun said. "They dare to attack our Xiao family? Just now, I wanted to fight them to the death," Xiao Qianqian said somewhat angrily. Qin Yun said, "Of course they dare, they might even bribe your scheming elder brothers." Will they really betray Yingying? Xiao Qianqian is very clear that 2 or 3 of her elder brothers are very treacherous. If there are benefits, they will definitely do it. It must be known that Heavenly Tiger Star's people have many good things and materials, they are all very attractive things. If Heavenly Tiger Star's people give Xiao Jingyuan some benefits, he might really use despicable methods to force Xiao Yingying to hand over the holy infant fruit. "I hope they won't act recklessly," Qin Yun said. "If they really dare, I will take care of them." Xiao Yueme is a 9th stage Earth Immortal. Her small mirror is also very powerful. If they fight, most 9th stage Earth Immortals are not her match. After returning to the small building in the courtyard, just as they entered the hall, they saw a gray-clothed old man wearing a conical bamboo hat sitting on a chair, reading a book. This gray-clothed old man's face is waxy yellow, there are only a few wrinkles but his expression is very stiff. His eyes are also somewhat unnatural. When he is flipping through the book, his movements are somewhat stiff, giving people a very strange feeling. Qin Yun and Xiao Yueme can see with a glance that this old man is a puppet. There is a very strong energy source inside his body. He is a very strong puppet. "Grandpa, why are you here?" Xiao Yingying shouted in pleasant surprise and promptly ran inside. "Grandpa!" Xiao Qianqian also shouted. This old man is actually Xiao family's patriarch Xiao Hua. Although he is a puppet, there is a thread of Xiao Hua's soul inside. "Yingying, I have never seen you so energetic. Are you all right?" Xiao Hua is very pleasantly surprised to see Xiao Yingying's spirited appearance. "Grandpa, it is Xiao Yun and Yueme's contribution. Grandpa, you sent them to my side." Xiao Yingying pointed at Qin Yun and Xiao Yueme and said with smile, "Grandpa, they are very awesome." Xiao Hua looked at Qin Yun and Xiao Yueme. Because this is a puppet avatar, his eyes and expression are very unnatural, so he is currently expressionless. Xiao Hua only nodded at Qin Yun and Xiao Yueme, then said to Xiao Yingying, "This is my puppet avatar, I was worried about my little darling, so I came over." "Grandpa, how strong is your puppet avatar?" Xiao Qianqian asked. "Not bad, dealing with ordinary ninth-stage Earth immortals is not a problem. Xiao Hua said with smile. Ying, you and sixth sister go outside to play. I have something to discuss with these two little friends. Alright. At this time, Xiao Ying also skipped outside. She hadn't been so lively for many years. Xiao Qianqian also went out with her little sister to accompany her to play. Sit. Xiao Hua said in a calm tone. Qin Yun and Xiao Yueme are also very calm. They slowly sat down. What is your objective? Xiao Hua looked at Xiao Yueme and said, Yueme, when you first entered my Xiao family, I truly misjudged you. My full name is Xiao Yueme. I come from Guanghan Palace. Xiao Yueme no longer concealed her identity and continued, Xiao Yuelan is my big sister. Xiao Hua seems to be very astonished. He was silent for a moment and said, Our Xiao family and Guanghan Palace don't seem to have any deep hatred, moreover we even exchanged totem runes. And you are so close to Ying, what is your objective? I admit, Ying was indeed cured by you. She is not completely cured, now she can only temporarily alleviate it. Qin Yun suddenly said, Can you tell me about Ying's situation? For more than 10 years, I have been trying to figure out what is going on. Xiao Hua said, You can make Ying better, make her so happy, I should be very grateful to you, I should not doubt you. You are very concerned about Sister Ying, I know that. Old man Xiao, please rest assured, we will not harm Ying. On the other hand, you have a few grandchildren who have designs on her sacred infant fruit. Xiao Yueme told Xiao Hua about the situation of the group of people from Heavenly Tiger Star. That guy Xiao Jingyuan. Xiao Hua very angrily said, If he really dares, I will cripple him right here. Soon after, Qin Yun also roughly explained Xiao Ying's situation to Xiao Hua, causing Xiao Hua to exclaim in admiration. The reason why Ying is like this must be because you once placed her on that altar. Old man Xiao, what kind of altar is that? Qin Yun asked. That is the god our Xiao family worships, it is called Space God. This is a very mysterious god. No matter how many sacrifices we make, he is indifferent to us, but sometimes he gives us some things. Xiao Hua said with frown. Could it be that Ying has been affected by Space God's power and her soul can enter other spaces? That's why she is being entangled by the evil power of other spaces? Space God? What did he give you? Xiao Yueme suddenly asked. Chapter 1483. Xiao Family Secret News. When Qin Yun heard someone mention the heaven-leaping shuttle again, he felt alarmed in his heart. Previously, Devil Immortal Great Emperor and Immortal Desolate Great Emperor destroyed the core formation of the Devil Mirror in order to find the heaven-leaping shuttle. Yao Feng also said that she knows where the heaven-leaping shuttle is hidden and will look for it when she has time. Now, the Xiao family's patriarch said that the heaven-leaping shuttle belongs to the space god. Old man Xiao, did you find the heaven-leaping shuttle? Xiao Yueme asked. No. But I heard that the heaven-leaping shuttle is related to your Guanghan Palace. When I met the Devil Immortal Great Emperor and asked him about the heaven-leaping shuttle, this is what he said. Xiao Hua said, Does your Guanghan Palace have any news regarding the heaven-leaping shuttle? I'm not too sure. I'll have to go back and ask the palace mistress and the others. Xiao Yueme said, Old man Xiao, don't believe the Devil Immortal Great Emperor's words too much. He has enmity with our Guanghan Palace. Xiao Hua nodded and said with smile, I know this. Qin Yun feels that Xiao Yueme might know about the heaven-leaping shuttle. How long can Ying maintain her current state? Xiao Hua looked at Xiao Ying, who is running around outside, and asked with chuckle. A few months should be no problem. After a few months, I will continue to help her maintain it. Qin Yun said. Little brother, what is your background? Xiao Hua suddenly became very curious about Qin Yun. You look so young, 12 or 13 years old, yet you are so capable. You are truly a genius. Old man Xiao, He is from the inscription gate, Xiao Yuemei said with smile. The inscription gate is a very powerful sect in another star field. Xiao Hua nodded. So it is a distant star civilization. Little brother, how can I make Yingying completely recover? I don't know for now, but I will definitely do my best, Qin Yun said. Yingying is a very pure and naive girl. Moreover, she is also very strong. I can't bear to see her tortured by this strange disease. Then what kind of reward do you need? I will definitely give you whatever I can, Xiao Hua said. I am only a puppet avatar, my main body is still in the Xiao family of the Heavenly Province. I am a powerful immortal emperor, so I cannot enter this place. I can only attach a strand of my soul to the puppet body and enter the Scarlet Slaughter sacred city. Let's talk about it after I completely cure Yingying. Qin Yun smiled and said, As for the reward, old man, you can give it according to your mood. I don't care about these things. Actually, he wanted Xiao Hua to think of a way to bring him into the Holy City's palace, so that he could quickly dismantle the sun altar. If he made such a request now, Xiao Hua would definitely be suspicious. It's Yingying's good fortune to have met such good people like you. Xiao Hua sighed with emotion. All these years, I've been trying to find a way to cure her, and I've also been looking for people everywhere. But now, a little brother suddenly appeared out of nowhere to help her alleviate her illness. This is really too great. Old Xiao, this is also because Yingying is too lovable, Xiao Yuemei said with smile. When I saw her like that, I really wanted to take care of her. Xiao Hua smiled and nodded. That's true. This little girl is pure and kind, and the pastries she makes are very delicious. Qin Yun asked, Elder Xiao, you came to Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City this time. Are you really just here to see Yingying? I came here for two main reasons. One is to protect Yingying, the other is to see the heavenly rune beasts and sun rune beasts that have appeared here. Xiao Hua's voice suddenly became grave. He said, Heavenly rune beasts and sun rune beasts have appeared near Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City. I want to see what kind of inscription beasts they are. Qin Yun encountered very strong human transformation inscription beasts in Immortal Xian Great Desert before. They were so scared that they immediately ran away. He also heard that Immortal Xian Great Desert is now the world of beasts. Are heavenly rune beasts and sun rune beasts very strong? Xiao Yuemei asked. Very, very strong. Especially in this kind of sacred land that restricts cultivation, they are invincible existences. Xiao Hua said. Now everyone thinks that the Holy City's palace is guarding against Qin Yun. Actually it is not, they are mainly guarding against heavenly rune beasts and sun rune beasts. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuemei looked at each other in amazement. They really thought that they are guarding against him. Of course, we also need to guard against Qin Yun. This guy can destroy Great Desert Sacred City's sun altar. He is also a guy who is not afraid of heaven or earth. Xiao Hua chuckled. I wonder if this guy has arrived or not. Old Xiao, I heard that heavenly rune beasts and sun rune beasts can transform into human form. Have you seen such powerful inscription beasts before? Qin Yun said. I have never seen them. They can indeed transform into human form. Maybe they have already infiltrated the city. Xiao Hua took out a red compass and said with frown, This compass is used to detect inscription beasts. Although there is no reaction now, my intuition is telling me that those two formidable inscription beasts are in the city. Xiao Yuemei shouted in alarm. Old Xiao, don't scare people. Xiao Hua very earnestly said, I am not scaring you. Those guys are growing very fast, they can avoid detection by tools. I guess they are planning to attack Sun Altar and occupy it. Xiao Yingying and Xiao Qianqian heard Xiao Yuemei scream and promptly ran in to ask what happened. Xiao Hua told them about the situation and told them not to worry. Grandfather, Big Brother and the others will be back very soon. Xiao Qianqian looked at Xiao Yueme and Qin Yun and said again, "Do you want to tell them about you coming here? No need for now. You must keep it a secret, don't tell them that I am here, I want to see what kind of good things they will do." Xiao Hua said, "There is a room upstairs, grandfather, you can stay upstairs." Xiao Yingying very happily smiled and said, "Grandfather, you want to teach me inscription, I want to learn. Yingying's illness has been cured, grandfather can finally teach you." Xiao Hua said with smile, "It can be seen that he is very fond of this little granddaughter of his. Grandfather, I will go make some pastries for you to eat. Yueme, sixth sister, do you want to come and make some?" Xiao Yingying asked. "All right," Xiao Yueme said with smile. "I can cook and eat at the same time." Soon after, Xiao Qianqian and Xiao Yueme followed them to a kitchen and began fiddling around. "Old Xiao, I once heard a legend from my elders, in a very low-level great desolate, someone built a very mysterious huge mausoleum. I heard that area is called Immortal Graveyard." Qin Yun suddenly asked, "You come from a distant star, yet your elders know of this legend. How rare." Xiao Hua said. "He also heard it from others," Qin Yun said with a smile. He also said that back then, many people from the Qi, Xiao and Qin families participated in the construction. Xiao Hua nodded and said, "That's right, we sent a lot of people to build that mysterious huge mausoleum. The Devil Immortal Great Emperor and the Immortal Desolate Great Emperor also participated, but later on, many unforeseen events happened there, and most of the people we sent died." Just as Qin Yun had guessed, the three families at the edge of the Cloud Dragon mountain range were indeed related to the three inscription families in the Immortal Desolate. What exactly is buried in that mysterious huge mausoleum? A peerless devil? Qin Yun asked again. This matter is very complicated. At that time, I was not the patriarch, so I didn't know much. I only know that the daughter of the Immortal Desolate Great Emperor and MOG is buried inside. In addition, there are many powerful and evil things sealed inside. After so many years, they should all be dead," Xiao Hua said. Qin Yun looked outside and asked, "Old Xiao, I heard that the people from the Sacred Desolate in the Scarlet Slaughter City are very respectful to your Xiao family. Is it because you can help them catch more inscription beasts? They want our Xiao family's secret technique. I admit that our Xiao family is inferior to the Shiman family in terms of capturing inscription beasts, but we are better than the Qin and Qi families in this regard. The Shiman family is a very strange existence. In the early days, when others talked about the inscription family, they did not include the Shiman family. Only our three families are the orthodox inscription families." Speaking of the Shiman family, Xiao Hua could not help but shake his head and laugh. The people from the Shiman family are very strange and also very strong. Sometimes I even suspect that they are not humans. Qin Yun had a deep feeling about this. The actions of the Shiman family were indeed somewhat strange. Xiao Hua stood up and walked to the door. He looked at the trees in the courtyard and said, "As far as I know, there are several powerful inscription beasts in the palace of the Holy City. They were all captured and tamed by those fellows from the Sacred Desolate. They must have paid a great price for this." "So they have a request for your Xiao family?" Qin Yun asked. "Indeed. Because the Shiman family is too lazy to care about them, they have no choice but to cooperate with our Xiao family. I am considering whether or not I should cooperate with them," Xiao Hua said. "Please don't," Qin Yun promptly said. "Little brother, tell me the reason." Xiao Hua turned around and looked at Qin Yun. "I have been thinking about it. They are from the Sacred Desolate and they are a group of very rude and unreasonable people. Now they are colluding with Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate and Heavenly Tiger Star. These scoundrels, sooner or later, they will provoke the formidable Nether Sect. If your Xiao family has any connection with Scarlet Slaughter Holy City, when the Nether Sect attacks Scarlet Slaughter Holy City, your Xiao family will also be implicated. Xiao Hua said with frown, indeed. Nether sect is very strong. The Netherworld Great Emperor has the sun-suppressing divine arrow. I heard that he even roped in the 9 extinction sect master. Nether sect is indeed a very strong and dreadful faction. Qin Yun said again. Those scoundrels from the heavenly tiger star look down on people from the immortal desolate. They are a group of bandits. The Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City colluded with these bandits, and their reputation is not good. If your Shao family doesn't want to ruin their reputation, it would be best if you don't get involved. Little brother, I suddenly feel that you should not be a little demon. Xiao Hua chuckled and said, You came from faraway star. It seems like you are very clear about the situation here. Yueme told me. Qin Yun said. Suddenly, several auras arrived. Qin Yun hastily got up and said in deep voice, Xiao Jingyuan and those heavenly tiger star people have arrived. Then I will leave. Xiao Hua promptly hid in a room. Chapter 1484. 1484 Chapter 1484 A truly powerful enemy. There were only 2 people who came, Xiao Jingyuan and a man from Heavenly Tiger Planet. The man from Heavenly Tiger Planet strode into the small hall. His entire body is filled with a ruffian aura. He arrogantly sat on a table and even placed his feet on a chair and shouted, Little attendant, quickly pour some tea and pastries for this lord. Xiao Jingyuan asked, Brat, where's Ying? Sister Ying is making pastries. Qin Yun said. Quickly tell that little girl to come out. She is the master of this place. This lord is here but she still hasn't come out. She's really arrogant. The young man said unhappily. Doesn't she know who I, Zhuofengba, am? Qin Yun is very calm but in his heart, he is somewhat worried that Xiao Hua would suddenly rush out and kill Zhuofengba. Xiao Hua is hiding in a room. When he heard the voices outside, he is indeed extremely angry. However, he is very calm because he wants to see how Xiao Jingyuan will betray Xiao Yingying. Sister Yingying's body isn't good. She doesn't like to casually walk around. Also, she is very serious when making pastries in the kitchen and needs to be quiet, so she can't come out. Qin Yun replied with a smile. I told you to help her shout out, so hurry up and go. What nonsense are you spouting? Xiao Jingyuan said angrily. Don't think that just because Grandpa sent you here, you are superior. You are a servant, you will always be a servant. And I, Xiao Jingyuan, can be considered your master. If this was my territory, this brat's mouth would have already been torn apart by me. Zhuofengba's ferocious face is filled with malice. Qin Yun said, Old man Xiao instructed me to only listen to Sister Yingying's words and not to listen to anyone else. Yo, so arrogant. Grandfather isn't here. Even if I teach you a lesson, he won't know. You better be tactful and don't let me beat you up. Xiao Jingyuan immediately became furious. He grabbed Qin Yun's collar and lifted him up. At this time, Xiao Yingying suddenly walked out and shouted, Scoundrel, quickly release Xiao Yun. Xiao Jingyuan snorted and vigorously threw Qin Yun onto a chair far away, smashing it into pieces. Xiao Yingying rushed over with heartache and supported Qin Yun. Her small face is flushed with anger. She shouted angrily at Xiao Jingyuan, Scoundrel, get out of my house. I don't welcome you. Then, she pointed at Zhuofengba, who was sitting on the table, and shouted, And you, hurry up and leave my house. You bullies, bad guys, get out of here. Xiao Yueme and Xiao Qianqian also came out. They are looking at Xiao Jingyuan and Zhuofengba with ice-cold expression. Zhuofengba laughed heartily and said, Ha ha ha. You 3 little women and a brat dare to be arrogant in front of me, Zhuofengba? I can easily stab all of you to death with just one finger. Xiao Jingyuan said, Yingying, take out your holy infant fruit. Brother Zhuo wants to buy it, and he's offering a very high price. I'm not selling, not even if I die. Xiao Yingying shouted angrily. Grandfather said that the holy infant fruit belongs to Yingying. If she doesn't sell it, no one can force her. Xiao Qianqian also said, Big brother, you've gone too far. Zhuo Fengba laughed and said, Your big brother has received benefits from me, so you have to sell it even if you don't want to. In any case, he promised us that he can capture you and bring you back. If you don't want to sell, just wait and see. Qin Yun very much wants to take action, but he feels that it is best to leave it to Xiao Hua. After all, he is the Xiao family's patriarch. If he takes action, even if the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City finds out, they won't be able to do anything. Yingying, don't make things difficult for Big Brother. Quickly take out the holy infant fruit, Xiao Jingyuan said in deep voice. If you don't hand it over, they will capture you. Zhuo Fengba rubbed his hands and said with evil grin, Little girl, come back with me, ha 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 ha, you three beautiful girls, come with me. Xiao Jingyuan, you bastard. Xiao Hua, who is behind the door, can no longer endure. He furiously rushed out. Xiao Jingyuan is extremely shocked. After he saw Xiao Hua's puppet avatar, he became even more apprehensive. But Xiao Hua slapped Xiao Jingyuan and knocked him to the ground, causing his face to be covered with blood. Old thing, you dare to attack? Zhuo Fengba saw Xiao Hua, but he is not the least bit afraid. Xiao Hua coldly shouted, Heavenly Tiger Star people are indeed a group of bandits. What did you say? You're courting death. Zhuo Fengba immediately flew into a rage. He rushed over and punched. Xiao Hua's movements are not very agile because this is only a puppet avatar. He was unable to dodge the punch. Boom! Xiao Hua's face was actually punched and he fell to the ground. So it's a puppet. Zhuo Fengba laughed sinisterly. Your strength is not much, but you're so arrogant. Watch how I kill you. As he spoke, he took out a long black trident and charged at Xiao Hua. Brother Zhuo, he is my grandfather's puppet avatar. Xiao Jingyuan hastily shouted. We must get rid of this old fellow, otherwise you and I will be in trouble. Ha ha ha, so that's how it is, Xiao family patriarch's avatar puppet? If I can get rid of it, this is enough for me to brag for several years. Zhuo Fengba's expression became even more sinister. He laughed loudly and said, He can't control the puppet avatar well, he's dead for sure. Xiao Hua's body was injured by Zhuo Fengba's punch just now. He now knows that the people of Heavenly Tiger Star still have some strength. Otherwise, an outer realm power that has been tyrannical in the immortal desolate for so long would have been killed long ago. Grandfather! Xiao Yingying anxiously shouted. Just as she was about to rush over, she was stopped by Xiao Yuemei. After Qin Yun was sent flying, he sat on the broken chair. He saw how weak Xiao Hua is and felt very surprised. He had no choice but to take action. He suddenly flashed over and grabbed the sharp trident. He poured in suffering divine ability power, and at the same time released a shockwave that shook Zhuo Fengba away. Zhuo Fengba's armor blocked the suffering divine ability power, but it was pushed away by the shockwave. Good fellow, you have some ability. I underestimated you. Zhuo Fengba looked at the young boy in shock. Without saying a word, Qin Yun released tree vines and wrapped around Zhuo Fengba. Then, he flashed over and pointed 2 fingers at Zhuo Fengba's head. He used piercing heavenly fingers void-breaking finger. The void-breaking finger can pierce through space and penetrate the energy barrier released by armor. A wave of energy wave that tore through space exploded. Qin Yun's powerful finger power pierced through space and struck Zhuo Fengba's head. Boom! A bowl-sized bloody hole appeared on Zhuo Fengba's head. His flesh and blood sprayed out from the barrier. Even with the protection of the energy barrier, his head was still pierced through. This caused Xiao Jingyuan's legs to tremble in fear. Xiao Qianqian is also dumbfounded. She originally thought that only Xiao Yuemei was strong and Qin Yun gave her the feeling that he is full of tricks. She did not expect him to be so formidable. Zhuo Fengba is a 9th stage Earth Immortal, His equipment is also very formidable. Yet he was killed by a young boy with bare hands. If this was spread out, no one would believe it. Xiao Jingyuan, whose legs have gone soft, flew out at full speed. Xiao Yuemei raised her hand and released a strange wind that brought Xiao Jingyuan back. Qin Yun's tree vines also nimbly appeared and wrapped around Xiao Jingyuan. Grandpa, quickly save me. Yingying, quickly plead for leniency, don't let that little demon kill me. Seeing that we are brother and sister, please help me. Xiao Jingyuan cried out in fear. Qianqian, bring Yingying into the house. Xiao Hua slowly stood up and said in cold voice. Xiao Yingying was brought into the house by Xiao Yuemei and Xiao Qianqian. Qin Yun's expression is calm as he looked at Xiao Jingyuan, whose face is filled with fear. Before, Xiao Jingyuan did not believe that this young boy was sent by his grandfather, but now he is convinced. His grandfather is an immortal emperor. The person he sent is definitely not simple. Xiao Jingyuan, you are really something. You actually want to kill Grandpa's puppet avatar. Do you want to kill me and then make Yingying hand over the holy infant fruit so that you can complete the transaction and then run away? Xiao Hua said with sneer. In any case, the world extermination is coming soon. Big brother Xiao must want to fish up even more things and then leave the immortal desolate. Maybe he even wants to join the heavenly tiger star and follow them to other star fields. Qin Yun said with smile. Big brother Xiao, am I right? You are bullshitting. Xiao Jingyuan shouted in fear. Grandpa, don't believe his nonsense. Believe me. I have no choice. You are my grandson, but you want to kill me. You even want to sell Yingying and Qianqian. You want to deliver them into the hands of evil people. You are so vicious. Today I will clean up the family. Xiao Hua looked at Qin Yun and shouted. Little brother, help me get rid of him. Qin Yun's palm suddenly overflowed with a fierce and arrogant aura. Accompanied by the surging flames, the hall suddenly became incomparably hot. Old Xiao, please turn around. Qin Yun said. He knows that Xiao Hua can't bear to do it himself, that's why he asked him to do it. Xiao Hua closed his eyes, let out a long sigh and turned around. Xiao Jingyuan is extremely afraid. He never thought that the young boy his grandfather sent to protect Xiao Yingying would be so terrifying. This kind of power is much more terrifying than the sacred desolate warriors. Boom! Qin Yun attacked with his palm and poured the flame into Xiao Jingyuan's body, burning him into ashes. Old Xiao, it's over. Qin Yun said, don't be sad, you have so many grandchildren anyway. AI, to have such an unfilial son, I can't help but feel sad. Xiao Hua limped as he walked to a chair and sat down. His face had been punched and it was sunken in. Xiao Yuemei also came out. She very quickly took care of Zhuo Fengba and took away all the good things on his body. Little brother, you are truly ridiculously strong. Fortunately there is you, otherwise Yingying and Qianqian would be in big trouble. Xiao Hua also experienced Qin Yun's terrifying power earlier. He suddenly felt some doubt in his heart. Qin Yun looked at Xiao Hua's injured body and said, Old Xiao, did you fight with the inscription beast on the way here? This puppet avatar is severely damaged. And otherwise I wouldn't be so weak. Xiao Hua nodded and asked, Little brother, are you surnamed Qin? Xiao Hua suspects that the little demon in front of him is most likely Qin Yun, because only Qin Yun has such terrifying power. Old Xiao, I will help you up and help you repair this puppet avatar. Qin Yun did not reply. Instead he helped Xiao Hua up the stairs and arrived at a room on the second floor. Qin Yun, if you want to destroy the Sun altar, you must be careful. The powerful enemies you are facing are not those sacred desolate people but sun rune beasts and heavenly rune beasts. Xiao Hua is certain that the young boy in front of him is Qin Yun. Can you bring me into the sacred city's palace? Qin Yun said with smile. Chapter 1485. Inscription World. Qin Yun inspected Xiao Hua's puppet body and said with smile, "I've already become like this, yet you can still recognize me. If you didn't display such formidable strength, I wouldn't have been able to recognize you. I really thought that you came from outside the distant star because according to the rumors, you are very tall." Xiao Hua asked curiously, "Are you also using a puppet now?" Xiao Hua knew that Qin Yun is a very strong inscription master. Rumor has it that he is a mysterious inscription sect, so it is normal for him to have a puppet avatar. Qin Yun is currently in the appearance of a youth. Xiao Hua did not know that Xiao Yuemei used a transformation technique, so he thought that Qin Yun also used a puppet avatar. "No, this is my main body," Qin Yun said and took out the floating cloud divine needle. Xiao Hua is somewhat surprised and said in astonishment, "Main body? You have always looked like a youth? That's impossible, many people from my Xiao family have seen you before. According to their descriptions, you are not a youth." Qin Yun said with smile, "I used some secret technique, that's why I became so small." "So that's how it is." Xiao Hua nodded and said with smile, "Can you repair my puppet avatar?" "There should be no problem. The main thing is that many of the runes are damaged. I'll help you repair them." Qin Yun injected blood soul power into the floating cloud divine needle and began repairing it. Xiao Hua said, "On the way here, I fought with some powerful inscription beasts, causing me to suffer serious damage. My body is not flexible enough, so I can't repair the runes myself. I'll help you repair the runes on your arm and shoulder. You should be able to solve the rest yourself, right?" Qin Yun asked. "Sure. When you need to repair the dark lines, I will guide you." Xiao Hua also wanted his puppet avatar to recover so that it could become stronger. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been sent flying with a single punch just now. The runes of the puppet avatar are carved inside and cannot be seen directly. However, Qin Yun can see them using the extinction spirit eye. This made Xiao Hua feel that it is inconceivable, because generally speaking, only the inscription master who refined the puppet knows where the runes inside the puppet body are and can accurately sense them. The blood soul power that sprayed out from the tip of the floating cloud divine needle is very fine. It is as fine as silk. It penetrated the hard material of the puppet body and entered the interior to connect the broken runes. The runes on the puppet's body were mainly totem runes. Qin Yun has mastered totem inscription spirit, so he can repair totem runes with ease. Xiao Hua felt that those inscriptions were quickly and accurately being repaired. He said in shock, "If it wasn't for your low cultivation, I would have thought that you were an old inscription master who had lived for tens of thousands of years. With your cultivation, it's truly inconceivable that you have such a high level of attainment in inscription. Old Xiao, are you the strongest inscription master in the Xiao family?" Qin Yun asked. "Of course not. Don't think that I'm very powerful just because I'm the patriarch. Although I'm an immortal emperor, I'm mainly responsible for managing some miscellaneous matters, arranging the transfer of the Xiao family's personnel, and so on. Our Xiao family's powerful inscription masters don't have the time to be the patriarch. They spend all day studying inscription." Xiao Hua laughed self-deprecatingly. "My level of inscription is only at the lower middle level in the Xiao family." "Old Xiao, don't be modest." Qin Yun shook his head and smiled. "Speaking of which, I'm ashamed. My cultivation is so much higher than yours, but my level of inscription is only slightly better than yours." Xiao Hua said, "According to the rules of the inscription world, based on the level of inscription, you and I should be of the same generation." The rules of the inscription world? Qin Yun had heard Shimen Taigon mention it before. It's our inscription master's circle. In many cases, the Shimen family's seniority is arranged according to this rule. Xiao Hua said. Qin Yun suddenly understood why Shimen Dezhuang called him uncle. The higher one's level of inscription, the older one was in the eyes of the Shimen family. Little brother, you probably haven't come into contact with the inscription world of the immortal desolate, right? Xiao Hua asked. No. Qin Yun shook his head. There's an inscription world in the immortal desolate. It existed a few eras ago. It's an independent space created by many powerful inscription masters over the years. Even if the 9 suns destroy the world, the inscription world still exists. I heard that there are also such inscription worlds in the divine desolate and sacred desolate. Xiao Hua chuckled and said, when there's a chance, I'll recommend you to join them. There really is an inscription world. Qin Yun suddenly felt very surprised because no one had ever mentioned it to him. And it's a very mysterious inscription world. Although there are some legends related to it, those who don't have any connections simply don't know how to obtain the qualifications to enter. Xiao Hua said, I was lucky. Back then, under the recommendation of my elders, I obtained the qualifications to enter. How many people from your hidden inscription family can enter? Qin Yun suddenly became very curious. 20 to 30 people from each side can enter. This is also the strength of our inscription family. We have many secrets that we heard from the inscription world, for example, matters related to inscription beasts. Xiao Hua said. Can Shimen Taigon also enter? Qin Yun asked curiously. I don't know about him. In any case, I've never met this guy inside. Xiao Hua shook his head. He also knew that Qin Yun's relationship with the Shimen family was very good. He even married Shimen Chuqian as his concubine. Qin Yun also wanted to enter the inscription world and learn how to use inscriptions. Suddenly, a noisy sound came from downstairs. Someone's coming. Qin Yun said, we killed that guy from the Heavenly Tiger planet. They should have discovered something. We'll just refuse to admit it. Xiao Hua had also recovered a bit and was able to walk more nimbly. He walked out of the room and said, let's go down and see who's coming. Xiao Hua's puppet avatar is also quite powerful. His face was previously caved in but now it has recovered by itself. Qin Yun followed Xiao Hua to the small hall downstairs and saw Xiao Qianqian greeting a few youths. Those youths are Xiao Hua's other grandchildren. When they saw Xiao Hua, they all stood up in shock and bowed respectfully. Why are all of you here? You clearly know that Yingying's body isn't good, yet you still come to disturb her all day. Xiao Hua coldly snorted and said, I heard that you often let Yingying make pastries for you to eat. Her body isn't good but for the sake of pastries, you let her overwork herself. The youths were so frightened that they immediately bowed and admitted their wrongs. They didn't dare to quibble. Grandfather, we know our wrongs. We won't dare to do it again. Xiao Zhongjie said in a low voice. You guys don't want to eat pastries but to give them to people to expand your network, right? Xiao Hua sat down and angrily slammed the table. He shouted, Yingying made so many pastries for you, what about you? Don't you know how to repay her? A bunch of selfish fellows. Seeing how angry Xiao Hua was, the youths immediately knelt down and admitted their wrongs. They never expected that their grandfather would actually get a puppet avatar. They had indeed taken Xiao Yingying's pastries to give to others, and they had never thought of repaying Xiao Yingying. Grandfather, why are you here? Why didn't you inform us? Xiao Zhongjie said in a low voice. Where's Big Brother? He seems to have come back very early. I wonder where he died. This guy actually forced Yingying to take out the holy infant fruit for others to see. Fortunately, Xiao Yun came up with a brilliant plan. Xiao Hua said with sneer. You bunch of idiots, back then you all thought that Yingying really took out the holy infant fruit, right? When Xiao Zhongjie and the others saw the young boy following beside Xiao Hua, they became even more convinced that this young boy was sent by their grandfather to protect Xiao Yingying. The youths' faces immediately turned red. They really thought that only people with bad intentions would not be able to see the holy infant fruit. It turns out that Xiao Yingying did not take it out at all. I fought a very strong inscription beast on the way here, so my puppet avatar was also injured. There are some things that I can't do. You guys should listen to my arrangements now. Xiao Hua said. All of you get up. The youths immediately got up and nodded. You guys go and contact the city master of the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City first. Tell him that my puppet avatar is here. Xiao Hua said. Ask the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City if they are willing to discuss cooperation with me. Xiao Zhongjie asked. Grandfather, among the few of us, who is more suitable to go? Let's go together. Xiao Hua said. Then tell them that I just returned from the inscription world. I heard some news about inscription beasts there, and asked them if they are interested. The youths nodded their heads repeatedly. Xiao Hua thought for a moment and said, You guys must be careful in the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City. Don't think that this place is very safe. Let me tell you, there are 2 powerful inscription beasts in human form inside the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City. They are ready to attack the palace at any time. The third brother screamed in fright, Grandfather, is this true? Then, why didn't the people from the palace tell us? Aren't they trying to kill us? Because even they don't know. However, they definitely know that there are inscription beasts in human form that want to attack the altar. The barrier they set up is not to defend against Qin Yun but to defend against the 2 inscription beasts. Xiao Hua said with certainty. So you guys must leave the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City as soon as possible. Grandfather, we will help you contact the city master and then immediately leave the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City. Xiao Zhongjie hastily said. In case we implicate Grandfather and make him worry. The third brother asked. If we can enter the palace, won't we not need to run? Do you really think that the palace can defend against inscription beasts in human form? Xiao Hua said. You guys should just obediently leave the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City. The youths hastily walked out and helped Xiao Hua contact the city master inside the palace. Xiao Hua said to Qin Yun, Continue to help me repair runes. I want to recover as soon as possible and then leave with Yingying. Alright. Qin Yun nodded. Xiao Hua is now very worried that the inscription beasts in human form would suddenly move and carry out a massacre. If they were to be targeted, it would be very troublesome. Chapter 1486. Divine Wilderness Puppet. Qin Yun and Xiao Hua went upstairs to continue repairing the puppet avatar. After half a day, Xiao Hua's arms were completely repaired by Qin Yun. Xiao Hua could take care of the rest by himself. He told Qin Yun to rest and recuperate as he prepared to enter the palace in the Holy City with him. Xiao Hua wanted to repay Qin Yun, so he thought of a way to bring Qin Yun into the villa in the middle. He originally wanted to persuade Qin Yun to give up, but after chatting with Qin Yun, he could sense Qin Yun's determination to attack Scarlet Slaughter Holy City, so he dispelled the thought of persuading him. Xiao Hua naturally hoped that Qin Yun would be safe and sound, because in the future, he would still need Qin Yun to cure Xiao Yingying. Not long after Qin Yun returned to his room, Xiao Yuemei came back with many delicious pastries and all kinds of snacks. Because they were mixed with the sacred infant fruit's energy, after eating the pastries, Qin Yun became very spirited and didn't need to rest. At night, Qin Yun looked at the stars in the sky and thought to himself, I wonder how Sister Star God is doing. I hope nothing happens to her. Heavenly Tiger Star's people attacked Heavenly Wind God Mountain and were killed by Yao Feng. Qin Yun collected a large amount of dead spirit power, which can be used as death sacrifice. Qin Yun felt that the sacrificial power might be able to make his mind break through and become stronger. After gazing at the starry sky for a while, he returned to his room and took out the golden horn. Evil God! Qin Yun shouted. Little ancestor, what is the matter? Evil God replied right away. Have you heard of the spatial god? Qin Yun wanted to know more about the spatial god. This was because the god of space was also searching for the heaven leaping shuttle. It was a shuttle that could traverse through space. Qin Yun was worried that the god of space would take it back in the future. Of course I've heard of him. He's a very awesome god. Evil God said, the reason why we can send things to the lower realms in the divine desolate is because of a set of rules he created. Many of our altars have runes provided by him. So awesome, Qin Yun said in shock. That's right. In short, he rarely shows his face. Even if he passed on his divine position, we might not know. The evil god said, this kind of powerful god rarely shows his face. Qin Yun also had a certain understanding of the god of space. It was actually an existence that ruled over the laws of space in the divine wilderness. Evil god, have you heard of the heaven-leaping shuttle? Asked Qin Yun. What? You found the heaven-leaping shuttle? The evil god shouted in shock. No, I just heard that the god of space is looking for you. I know people who worship the space god, they are in the immortal desolate. So I want to ask you, what is this heaven-leaping shuttle? Qin Yun said. At this time, Xiao Yuemei suddenly arrived and lightly yelled, evil god, I am Yuemei. Big sister Yuemei, hello. Evil god's voice came out. Xiao Yuemei knows that Qin Yun is asking about the heaven-leaping shuttle. She lied down beside the large golden devil horn and asked, evil god, do you know what the heaven-leaping shuttle means in immortal desolate? The sky-leaping shuttle can easily cross many spaces. This is a super powerful divine weapon that can break through the spatial barrier of the 9 wastelands. However, you don't have enough divine power in the immortal desolate, so you won't be able to unleash the true power of the heaven-leaping shuttle. It will be very difficult to break through the spatial barrier. After the evil god finished speaking, he chuckled a few times and said, however, if it works with the altar, it can teleport even more things. Qin Yun asked, evil god, do you have any news regarding Star God? Yes. Star God has always been chased by the Dao Yang divine sect. I have to say, this Star God woman is truly dreadful. She killed many people from the Dao Yang divine sect along the way. The Dao Yang divine sect has already issued a warrant for her arrest. Many great powers of the divine desolate have sent out powerful squads to capture Star God. The situation is so serious. Xiao Yuemei said with frown, Sister Star God is in trouble this time. Don't worry, this is not the first time Star God is being chased like this. She is constantly being chased. She must have experience in escaping. Evil God said. Evil God, we are preparing to destroy an altar. Tell me, won't this cause even more trouble for Sister Star God? Xiao Yuemei asked. 2 little ancestors, are you serious? Evil God cried out in alarm in low voice. Several 9 sun sects are chasing after Star God. Even if you destroy another altar, her situation will be the same, it won't be any worse. Evil God is very afraid of trouble. He didn't dare to contact Qin Yun for too long and hastily cut off the communication. Qin Yun looked at Xiao Yuemei, caressed her face and asked, Yuemei, how much do you know about the heaven-leaping shuttle? I only know that my past life used it to control it. It is a very powerful divine tool. You used to use it to help me escape. Xiao Yuemei lightly sighed and said, later it was damaged and you hid it. You said that you would let the heaven-leaping shuttle absorb immortal power to repair itself. Yuemei, I mentioned Yao Fong to you before. Do you still remember? Qin Yun asked. Xiao Yuemei nodded. I know who she is your master. Qin Yun told Xiao Yuemei about Yao Fong. Xiao Yuemei earnestly listened. Her expression is constantly changing. After she finished listening, she faintly sighed. Her original name is Fong Yueyao. Although she is my master, I have always regarded her as my big sister. Her relationship with Sister Kiru is very good. Xiao Yuemei said, It's good that she is fine. As long as she is alive, I will definitely see her again in the future. Is Sister Yao Fong's relationship with me very good? Qin Yun suddenly asked. I am not too clear. In short, it was because of you that she went missing. We all thought that she was killed by you. Xiao Yuanmei said, that's why me and Big Sister chased you for a period of time. Later on you saved us sisters and we didn't hate you anymore. Qin Yun now knows many things. The Heaven Leaping Shuttle is very awesome, but unfortunately it was damaged. I hope Sister Yao Fang can find the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. Qin Yun said. The Heaven Leaping Shuttle was damaged by those two great emperors. Back then you brought me and Big Sister to escape. It was also because the Heaven Leaping Shuttle is very awesome that we managed to escape. If I am not wrong, you and I joined hands to swindle them of something. They became very angry and chased us. Xiao Yuanmei said. What did you swindle from them? Qin Yun very curiously asked. I don't know, I put it in a storage bag. It should be inside the shuttle. You didn't take it out at that time. You said you would come back later to get it. Xiao Yuanmei said. Qin Yun suddenly feels that the reason why Immortal Desolate Great Emperor and Devil Immortal Great Emperor are so anxious to find the Heaven Leaping Shuttle is most likely because they want to retrieve that mysterious thing. Brother, why haven't you recovered your memories? Xiao Yuanmei asked. A3. I don't know. Qin Yun shook his head. Don't worry, even if you recover your memories, Sister Bing Xing and Aunt won't do anything to you. Xiao Yuanmei said with smile. They should have figured out some things by now. They should know that you did it for their own good back then. Qin Yun nodded. I will try my best to recover my memories. Alright, I will go accompany Sister Ying to sleep. Xiao Yuanmei said with sweet smile, then skipped out of the room. Qin Yun is lying on the bed. His eyes are wide open. His mind is in chaos. Xiao Yun, I think you should listen to your past life's advice. Don't be in a hurry to recover your memories. Ling Yuner said, your past life told you that it is best to recover your memories after becoming a god. And let nature take its course. After Qin Yun thought it through, he closed his eyes. Daybreak, Qin Yun arrived at the small living room on the first floor. He saw Xiao Yuanmei holding a few pastries in her hands. She is wolfing them down. Xiao Hua, on the other hand, watched with a smile on his face. He had also repaired his own puppet clone. Those few brats came just now. They said that City Master invited me to enter Holy City's palace. Xiao Hua saw Qin Yun come down and said, I plan to bring you in. Xiao Yuanmei also wants to go, but she knows that there are powerful inscription beasts in the city, so she decided to stay. If something unexpected happens, she can protect Xiao Ying. All right. Qin Yun nodded and said. Then let's go now. Xiao Hua is wearing a gray robe. He did not disguise himself because this is only a puppet avatar. Qin Yun is wearing clean and tidy white clothes. He followed Xiao Hua and boarded a carriage. This carriage was sent by Holy City's palace. Xiao Qianqian and Xiao Ying are eating pastries. They don't know that the youth is Qin Yun. They think that he is their grandfather's attendant. And Xiao Yuanmei is deeply worried. She is somewhat worried about Qin Yun. Because Qin Yun wants to sneak into that large villa, he wants to approach the sun altar. If he attacks the sun altar from inside, it will surely lead to a fierce battle. Inside the carriage, Xiao Hua took out a few small flags, controlled them to float at the four corners of the carriage, and set up a sound insulation barrier. Little brother, are you going to attack immediately after you go in? Xiao Hua asked. I don't know, I'll see how it goes. Qin Yun shook his head. If those guys are too strong, I can only make a new plan. The Scarlet Slaughter Holy City has made ample preparations this time. As far as I know, they have a few puppet avatars from the Divine Wasteland. Those are all refined from God-level materials. Even if you control a powerful divine weapon, you might not be able to break through those powerful puppet avatars. Xiao Hua said. Old Xiao, how much do you know about the situation inside? Qin Yun asked. I only know that there are very strong divine desolate puppets inside. Those puppets' cultivation shouldn't be able to surpass 9th layer Earth Immortal, otherwise they would be teleported outside by the Scarlet Slaughter Swamp's mysterious power. The most formidable part is the refining materials on their bodies. Xiao Hua very enviously sighed and said again, "If only my puppet avatars were refined with divine tier materials." Qin Yun said again, "If that is the case, they should be able to take down sun rune beasts and heavenly rune beasts, right?" Xiao Hua nodded and said, "The guy controlling the divine desolate puppets might be divine desolate's god. If he also has a divine tool, it would be even more dreadful. It seems like it will be even more difficult for me to attack this sun altar." Qin Yun's expression became grave. "Little brother, as long as you know your limits, you must know when to retreat. If the opponent is really strong, you must not be too strong, act according to your own strength," Xiao Hua said. Qin Yun nodded and said, "I understand." The carriage arrived at the entrance of a large villa. There is a large plaza here. After arriving, Qin Yun and Xiao Hua discovered that the atmosphere here is not right. They promptly walked out of the carriage and saw two handsome men standing on the spacious plaza. Chapter 1487. 1487 Chapter 1487 Black Rat, by Zhe Xiao Hua cursed in his heart. These two inscription beasts just had to appear here at this time. If they were a bit later, he would have been able to smoothly bring Qin Yun into the villa and enter the palace of the Holy City. Now that these two inscription beasts have appeared, the villa will definitely guard it to the death. It will be even more difficult to enter. Qin Yun looked at the door in front of him. It was indeed tightly shut. With a glance, he could tell that these two inscription beasts had alarmed the people in the villa. Just a bit more. Qin Yun also felt that it was a pity. As long as he could enter the villa, he could hide inside and find an opportunity to make his move. And now, the two inscription beasts suddenly appeared here. The villa would definitely not open its doors. The two inscription beasts that have transformed into humans are tall and handsome. It is unknown if they created their own appearance. The slightly taller man has a slightly long face, a pair of thick eyebrows, a pair of deep eyes and a mustache that added a bit of charm to him. He is wearing very ordinary black clothes. It is impossible to tell that he is an inscription beast. As for the other man, his eyes under his elegant sword-like eyebrows carried a playful smile. His fair and handsome face was brimming with a gentle smile. His white clothes were luxurious but not tacky, giving off a cynical feeling. The auras of these two men are very strong, but it is impossible to tell that they are inscription beasts. Qin Yun's perception is very strong, but he is unable to see anything. Because these two inscription beasts have the same aura as humans. The difference is that they each have a strange charm. The handsome white-clothed man looked at Xiao Hua and asked, "You are not human, right? This is a puppet avatar. The soul inside is a human soul." Xiao Hua calmed down and said indifferently. The handsome white-clothed man looked at the black-clothed man with a mustache and asked, "Interesting. Tell me, in this state, is he considered a human?" "Sort of. He has a human soul." The black-clothed man laughed. He looked at Xiao Hua and said, "You don't have to be afraid of us. We are not as savage as you think. I am Xiao Hua, from one of the inscription families, the Xiao family. I am the patriarch of the Xiao family." At this moment, Xiao Hua could also tell that these two inscription beasts did not have any intention of fighting. "I am Heishu." The black-clothed man stroked his beard and said with a smile, "My original form is a black rat. I am Baize." The handsome man in white smiled. Xiao Hua was a little surprised. "The legendary divine beast Baize?" Baize smiled and nodded. Qin Yun is also very astonished. A divine beast like Baize is actually an inscription beast. Heishu laughed self-deprecatingly. "I'm just a black rat. I don't have a noble identity like Baize." Brother Shu, don't be so modest. If we were to fight, I might not be your match. Bai Zai laughed and said, You always pretend to be weak in front of me. Xiao Hua suppressed the shock in his heart and asked, The two of you, what is your purpose for coming here? Is this Crimson Massacre City your target? He Shu replied, I just want to take a look at the Sun Altar, I have no other intentions. Bai Zai nodded and said, Don't tell me that you think we want to destroy that altar? If we really had that kind of intention, we would have already attacked and this city would have already been destroyed. Of course, we can't attack it. He Shu looked at the barrier and said, The barrier of that villa is very strong, we won't be able to attack it in a short period of time. Bai Zai said with smile, If we attack for a long period of time, that won't be a problem. Xiao Hua now felt a lot more relieved, because he can see that these two formidable inscription beasts are indeed not very savage and savage. Otherwise, with their strength, they would definitely be able to slaughter this Crimson Massacre City. Qin Yun has not spoken since the beginning. He also discovered that He Shu and Bai Zai are not paying attention to him. Clearly, they did not discover that he is very strong. This made him feel a lot more relieved. Why do you want to take a look at the Sun Altar? Xiao Hua asked again. If the two of you really want to take a look, I can help you. Bai Zai said, Of course we really want to take a look at the Sun Altar. There are many runes on it, we want to take a look and study them. He Shu said with smile. Old Xiao, you said you come from an inscription family, then you must be an inscription master, right? We are also inscription masters, we can carve runes. Qin Yun and Xiao Hua are very amazed. He Shu and Bai Zai are heavenly rune beasts and sun rune beasts. If they can carve runes, then they must be very strong. Don't think that only humans can control runes, we can also use runes to perfection. Bai Zai proudly smiled. Do you want to compete with us? It is very rare for the two of them to meet a relatively strong human, moreover an inscription master, so they are very excited. Let's not compete for now. I will go communicate with the Holy City's city lord. Xiao Hua said with smile. Wait for me here. Xiao Hua walked towards the door. He did not let Qin Yun follow him. Qin Yun has been standing there. He is now also looking at the direction of the door. Little brother, who are you to old Xiao? He Shu suddenly asked. Little follower, Qin Yun said with smile. A servant? Bai Zai looked at Qin Yun and asked. And Qin Yun did not expect that his concealment would be so good. These two formidable inscription beasts are actually unable to see through his body. He Shu said in low voice, Little brother, how is old Zhao's inscription level? Qin Yun thought for a moment and replied, Inscription mysterious sex level, I don't know the specifics. Bai Zai said with smile, Inscription mysterious sect should be able to carve 12th level finesse, very good. Little brother, did you learn anything from him? Do you understand inscription? I understand a bit. Qin Yun nodded. I think you are very pleasing to the eye, do you want to learn inscription from me? Bai Zai looked at Qin Yun and said with mischievous smile, Take me as your master, I am very strong, I can bring you to run amok in this scarlet slaughter swamp. Thank you big brother for your good intentions, no need. Qin Yun promptly declined. He is very shocked in his heart, this Bai Zai actually wants to take him as a disciple. He Shu said with smile. Little brother, you should follow me, I have mastered Heavenly Rune, it is much more powerful than Bai Zai's Sun Rune. Qin Yun suddenly hesitated, this He Shu is actually a Heavenly Rune beast. He previously thought that Bai Zai is a Heavenly Rune beast. Don't hesitate, old Xiao will definitely agree. He Shu proudly said with smile. Brother Shu, it was me who took a fancy to this little brother first. Bai Zai laughed. What you are doing is not very sincere. He Shu laughed loudly. Let's see who little brother chooses. Qin Yun actually wants to follow He Shu and learn his heavenly rune first. However, thinking that he still has many things to do, he can only refuse. Not long after, Xiao Hua arrived. You too, Scarlet Slaughter Holy City's city master He Yenyun is willing to sign soul contract with you. As long as you promise not to attack Scarlet Slaughter Holy City, not to attack Sun Altar, not to cause any destruction in Scarlet Slaughter Holy City, it will be fine. If you are willing, follow me and sign soul contract with them. Xiao Hua said. All right. He Shu nodded. All right. Bai Zhe also agreed and nodded. Soon after, Qin Yun followed Xiao Hua and Bai Zhe towards the large door. Qin Yun is now very nervous. He is worried that he won't be able to enter. This is his only chance. Before, he was worried about He Shu and Bai Zhe, these two formidable inscription beasts. But now they don't need to worry anymore because these two guys won't attack Sun Altar. Xiao Hua is also the same. He is completely relieved. He doesn't need to worry about a great battle between inscription beasts. There are such gentle inscription beasts in human form. This caused Xiao Hua to be very surprised. Of course, many divine mountains in Immortal Desolate are occupied by formidable inscription beasts. Many inscription beasts allow humans to enter those divine mountains. Some inscription beasts are very willing to coexist peacefully with humans. After He Shu and Bai Zhe signed the soul contract, people inside the great villa let out a sigh of relief. Qin Yun finally followed Xiao Hua and smoothly entered the great villa. Moreover, he can see the huge sun altar from a close distance. When signing the soul contract, He Shu and Bai Zhe raised their conditions. They want the city master to guarantee that they won't be besieged after entering. Scarlet Slaughter Holy City's city master He Yenyun is a middle-aged man. He has a square face. He looks very righteous. However, Qin Yun feels that this city master is not a good person. Previously, Scarlet Slaughter Holy City injured Luo Dongchuan. It must be this city master's idea. He Yenyun manages this sun altar. He can communicate with Sacred Desolate. Sacred Desolate wants to capture Qin Yun. They must have promised He Yenyun a lot of rewards. In order to capture Qin Yun, He Yenyun will surely use any means fair or foul. After entering the great villa, Qin Yun followed Xiao Hua and walked towards a very large palace. He Yenyun said with smile, You two are formidable heavenly rune beasts and sun rune beasts. To be able to communicate with you is our honor. He Shu said, We wanted to communicate with you for a long time, but you have always been guarding against us. Bai Zhe said with smile, Do we look very fierce? No, we are not guarding against you, we are guarding against that Qin Yun. He Yenyun shook his head and said with sigh, You don't know, some people are much more savage than inscription beasts. That Qin Yun is one of them. That guy is a villain. He killed many of our people. Moreover, he wants to tear down our altar. He Shu said with smile, Qin Yun? We heard about him. A friend of mine in Immortal Xian Great Desert mentioned Qin Yun. He said that he destroyed the sun altar there and killed many people from Great Desert Holy City. Isn't that so? That's why we are guarding against that guy. He Yenyun said with smile. You too, if you stay here for a period of time, you might be able to meet Qin Yun. If you want to fight with humans, you can go deal with that guy. No, we don't want to fight. What's more, Qin Yun is very powerful. We don't want to fight with him. We might be killed. Bai Zhe said with smile. He Shu and Bai Zhe are not stupid. They know that He Yenyun wants them to deal with Qin Yun. All the inscription beasts in Immortal Desolate that can transform into human have more or less heard about Qin Yun. Because it was Qin Yun who destroyed Great Desert Holy City's altar. Chapter 1488. Heavenly Rune Talisman. Chapter 1488. Heavenly Rune Talisman. Xiao Hua and Qin Yun are calmly listening to him. Xiao Hua feels that it is somewhat funny because Qin Yun is right behind him. He is that harmless-looking little youth. Before figuring out the situation inside, Qin Yun would not make a move. Those divine desolate puppets are definitely very strong. If there were a few of them, it would be very strenuous for Qin Yun. This attack on Sun Altar is not like before, there are not that many people helping. Back in Great Desert Sacred City, Xiao Yuelan, Sun Fairy Yu Shaoling, Shimen Chuqian and Old Fox Huang were all very strong. Furthermore, Great Desert Sacred City did not make sufficient preparations and underestimated Qin Yun's strength. They were unable to defend. And now Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City is very well prepared. Now they don't need to deal with the inscription beasts, they can focus on dealing with Qin Yun. One must know that as long as they capture or kill Qin Yun, they will be able to obtain a great reward from Dao Yang Divine Sect. Entering the main hall, inside the spacious hall, there are many powerful 9th stage Earth Immortals. Most of them are middle-aged and young, although there are some old people, there are not many of them. After Xiao Hua came in, other people immediately came over to greet Xiao Hua and then greeted Bai Zhe. Many people were very interested in the Black Mouse Bai Zhe. After all, they were two powerful inscription beasts. Even though Bai Zhe signed a soul contract, the people here are more or less worried. Now they also discovered that after the two inscription beasts turned into humans, they truly look like humans, it is hard to tell them apart. And what made them most apprehensive is that the strength of these two inscription beasts is unfathomable, they are much stronger than they imagined. Bai Zhe looks very modest, but from time to time they release their aura to intimidate the people here. Otherwise, the people here would have other thoughts about them. The Sun Altar descended to capture inscription beasts, collect all kinds of runes with special abilities, and then send them back to the Divine Desolate. Bai Zhe is very clear about this point, so they are very vigilant now. Xiao Family Master, didn't you say that you want to discuss cooperation with us? Let's talk here. He Yanyan said with smile. We are all friends here, it doesn't matter. Cooperation is a rather private matter. Let's talk about it in private. Xiao Hua said. He could see that there were some people here who were filled with hostility towards him. In particular, the people of the Heavenly Tiger Planet and the Qi family, as well as the Xian family, the Long family, and the demonic immortal Heavenly Gate, did not like him very much. Xiao Hua felt that it was a little strange. Why did these people have such a big opinion of him? Family head Xiao, our Heavenly Tiger Star's Zhuofengba is dead. A middle-aged man said coldly, his life pearl has shattered. Friend, what is the meaning of this? Xiao Hua's tone was filled with anger. What do you mean? Zhuofengba was with your grandson, Xiao Jingyuan, and even gave Xiao Jingyuan a lot of benefits. Xiao Jingyuan promised Zhuofengba to give us the sacred infant fruit. The middle-aged man furiously said, now that Zhuofengba is dead, we can't find Xiao Jingyuan. Xiao Hua coldly said, truth be told, Xiao Jingyuan is also dead. I even suspect that it was you guys from the Heavenly Tiger Planet who killed him. Is that true? He Yanyan said with a frown, I am the City Lord. How can I not know about such a thing happening in the Scarlet Slaughter Sacred City? I can sign a soul contract to guarantee that my grandson Xiao Jingyuan is indeed dead. Xiao Hua said. The middle-aged man from the Heavenly Tiger Star really made Xiao Hua sign a soul contract and then confirmed that Xiao Jingyuan is indeed dead. Xiao Jingyuan and Zhuofengba were together before, but how did they die? It must be known that these two are very strong 9th stage Earth Immortals, and the equipment in their hands is not bad. To be able to kill them, it must be a very powerful existence. At this moment, everyone looked at Blackrat Bai Zhe. Blackrat Bai Zhe is somewhat helpless. He can only sign a soul contract to show that they did not do it. Don't worry, as the City Lord, I will definitely investigate thoroughly. He Yenyun also did not want the atmosphere here to be so stiff. He promptly said some words. Xiao Hua said, City Lord He, if you really want to talk about cooperation, then let's talk alone. A middle-aged man from the immortal family said with sneer. Shao family head, our immortal desolate great emperor once looked for you and wanted to discuss cooperation with you on subduing inscription beasts. You refused at that time. You also refused our devil immortal heavenly gate. The middle-aged man from the devil immortal heavenly gate said coldly. Shao family head, don't tell me you look down on my Long family? You also refused to cooperate with us. The Long family youth coldly snorted and said, because of your refusal, we missed many opportunities to subdue inscription beasts. The middle-aged man from the immortal family said coldly. Shao family head, although your true body is an immortal emperor, we are not afraid of you. You must make things clear today. The middle-aged man from the heavenly tiger star also shouted, your grandson took our things. Even if he is dead, your Shao family must fulfill your promise and give the holy infant fruit to our heavenly tiger star. All of you shut up. Shao Hua shouted angrily. You bunch of ants, are you looking down on me because I'm using a puppet clone now? Who my Shao family wants to cooperate with, what do you have to do with it? The reason why we don't cooperate with you is because you are too poor. You only want to get the biggest benefit, but you are not willing to give us anything. Shao Hua is also unable to suppress his anger and finally flipped out. The Black Mouse by Zhe watched from the side and also found it very interesting, because this is the first time they have seen such a dispute between humans. Your Shao family's inscription level is the worst among the inscription families. It's normal for you to be looked down upon. The middle-aged man from the Qi family laughed loudly and said, Shao family head, everyone knows that your inscription level is very poor, that's why you were sent to be the family head. Shao Hua said coldly, you are just a small character from the Qi family, yet you dare to mock me like this. Could it be that your Qi family has already stepped on our Shao family's head? I am a small character? Shao Hua, you are too arrogant. Do you know who I, Qi Shohai, am? Qi Shohai shouted coldly. Qin Yun is now seriously looking at Qi Shohai. He is a bald middle-aged man with a round face and short hair. His stomach is a bit big. With a single glance, one can tell that he is an inscription master who is not good at fighting and spends all day researching inscription. The people here are all dissatisfied with the Shao family. Now that they have met Shao Hua, a weak puppet avatar of an immortal emperor, they naturally want to wantonly mock him. In the future, when they return, they can brag everywhere. Shao Hua's true body is an immortal emperor. Mocking an immortal emperor is a very awesome thing. Of course, if it was in front of Shao Hua's true body, they wouldn't even dare to fart. Shao Hua is also angered. He is a dignified immortal emperor, but because his true body can't come, his puppet avatar is being besieged by a group of trash. He is very angry in his heart. Shao family head, you are merely from the inscription profound sect. Qi Shohai is also from the inscription profound sect. It is true that your true body is an immortal emperor, but you, an immortal emperor, are only from the inscription profound sect. Don't you feel ashamed? The person who spoke is a middle-aged man from the Long family. His voice is filled with ridicule. Shao Hua is about to explode from anger. He knows that as an immortal emperor and an inscription profound sect, it is indeed somewhat wretched. However, when someone said it to his face, it is like slapping his face. There are more than 100 people here. All of them are from various famous sects and aristocratic families. Only those super great powers, such as the Immortal Family and the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate, dare to mock Shao Hua. And now, the majority of the people here are more or less looking at Shao Hua with disdain. Shao Hua really wanted to turn around and leave, but he didn't because he wants to continue accompanying Qin Yun here. He Shu Bai Zhe's impression of Shao Hua is very good. Just now, they secretly communicated with each other and decided to help Shao Hua. He Shu said, Senior Qi Shohai, it seems like you are a pretty good inscription profound sect. I am also an inscription master, How about competing with me? The people in the lobby immediately burst into an uproar. They didn't know that these two inscription beasts are inscription masters. Qi Xianzong, don't be a coward. Represent us humans and compete with the inscription beast. An old man said. How do you want to compete? Qi Xiuhai is also very interested. If he can defeat the formidable human transformation inscription beasts, it will be a matter of great prestige. At this moment, those few great powers no longer entangled themselves with Xiao Hua, otherwise they would have continued to mock Xiao Hua. He Shu took out a talisman and said, I have a talisman here. When I activate this talisman, it will erupt within a certain period of time. You must make this talisman stop before the eruption. Of course, the eruption will only spray some water. This is a water-gathering immortal talisman. Qi Xiuhai said with smile. Hey Shu friend, you are very familiar with humans' method of comparison. This is also the method we commonly use. Alright, you activate it, I will definitely be able to break it. Rest assured, my inscription is also 12th level finesse. Our level should be the same. He Shu faintly smiled. After activating the talisman, he handed it over to Qi Xiuhai. Everyone distanced themselves a bit and then seriously looked at the talisman. The talisman is made of white beast skin, it looks somewhat thick. After Qi Xiuhai took it, he took out a carving knife and looked at the talisman with frown. Qin Yun used Extinction Spirit Eye to observe the runes inside the talisman. He is amazed to discover that these runes are very special, they have the same charm as the heavenly runes he saw before. Qi Xiuhai was originally very confident, but after receiving the talisman, he became dumbfounded. He is sweating profusely, he very earnestly observed the runes inside the talisman. Hua! The talisman suddenly erupted and sprayed out a large amount of water, drenching Qi Xiuhai's entire body. Human friend, you have lost. He Shu said with smile. He Shu friend, your runes are truly formidable. If my guess is not wrong, it must be a heavenly rune. Not to mention me, even an inscription master who can carve 13th level finesse would not be able to break it in a short period of time. Not to mention Xiao Hua, even he would not be able to do it. Qi Xiuhai said, I wholeheartedly accept my loss. Qin Yun suddenly said, Don't speak in such absolute terms. Family Head's true body is not here, so he is unable to unleash his strongest mental power and blood spirit power. Naturally, he would not be able to break it. You are Xiao Yingying's little follower, right? You really know a lot. I heard that you were sent by Xiao Family Head to protect Xiao Yingying. You also understand inscription, right? A youth from Heavenly Tiger Planet said. I understand a bit. I think it won't be difficult for me to break that talisman. Qin Yun looked at Xiao Hua and said again, But I need Family Head's guidance. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.